Welcome back to another episode of the Chad Smith Podcast. My name is Chad Smith. Today is Thursday, January 6th, 2022. I'm joined this morning, as always, by my loyal co-host from Fresno, California. Please welcome Sonny Conway.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Chad. How's it going?
Oh, it's going good. I was just going to introduce the other co-host, but he just dropped out as soon as I did that.
He got scared.
Is he coming back in?
We got a surprise co-host. It's gonna be fun.
There he is.
Hey, he's
all right,
back.
Please welcome back Josh Casey. How's it going, man?
Pretty good, man. How y'all doing this morning?
Gave me a heart attack. You dropped right out.
Yeah.
Oh, the screen froze, man. I was jamming out to your badass new intro, man. I love it.
That's Brassel House intro.
Yeah, he gets down, dude. Brassel's badass. He's a good guy.
Me and him gotta jam out together, man.
As soon as I get my stuff together, I'm gonna get. He sent us some other music too. I just gotta clip out what I want.
I'm gonna order a cowbell and a pair of drumsticks so I can rock out with you guys.
There you go.
Cowbell and a triangle is what you need. You're gonna kill.
Need more cowbell.
Kill that triangle.
That's what this channel needs, is more cowbell.
I got a feeling.
I might order one. I think I'll order it right now while we're on the air.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, we got somebody else backstage. We want to bring in our guest. Today's guest is Jon the Paranormal Guy. Jon's been investigating the paranormal since his near-death experience in 2013. Since then, he's been traveling to haunted locations around the United States and releases new videos on his YouTube channel and Facebook page on a weekly basis. Please find his YouTube link in the description and subscribe to his channel to support his efforts. Please welcome for the first time to the show, Jon the Paranormal Guy. How's it going,
everybody.
Man?
How's it going, Jon?
Oh, it's going good, man.
It's nice to meet you.
Good.
Nice to finally meet you guys. I've been excited since I heard that I was going to be on this podcast. I'm like, anytime my friend Cassie reaches out to me and she's like, I think you like being on these guys' podcasts. I'm like, cool. Where do I sign up? So
she's the best. Cassie at Oracles and Beyond on YouTube. Guys,
isn't she awesome, man? She's so great.
Cassie's awesome. She helped me get like 20 subscribers a year a day.
Yeah, man. She's really good at that.
She sure did. Yeah, and then when she gets us guests like you, it's a bonus for us too, man. It's awesome for
I'm always
everyone all the way
willing to help
around.
out new creators because I know how it feels to be a new creator because I'm still somewhat of a new creator. So
yeah, man. I mean, it's hard to even draw that line on YouTube because there's just like the sky's the limit, it seems like. In the paranormal field, you don't get up to like millions of subscribers, but man, some people on YouTube are at like over 10 million subscribers, 40 million subscribers. It's like, holy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see where we go. But yeah, definitely appreciate you helping us out with that.
Hey, yeah, no problem. Definitely.
So, where did you want to start? Did you want to start with like how you got started with the paranormal field?
Yeah,
like with your near-death experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So back in 2013, I was driving home from work. Kind of normal day. I was the assistant manager and head detailer at BMW in Central California. I heard you were from Fresno. I actually grew up in San Luis Obispo, not too far from you. I was driving back on Highway 101, and if you guys know, that can get into a really crazy highway really quickly. And so I'm coming home from work. It's about 5:30 in the afternoon, and all of a sudden I see this car driving erratically. I'm looking both sides. I see her in my rearview mirror, and I try to stomp on it to get out of her way on the highway exit. Or entrance, I should say. And I get down the freeway. I'm doing about 60, and I still see her driving erratically and coming like right towards me. So I try to get out of her way even more, switch lanes, and she hit me into the guardrail about 80 miles an hour. She ended up basically pit maneuvering my car into the guardrail, and my car flipped multiple times over.
Oh, man.
And I did have at the time a Mazda 3 hatchback, and basically that car was unrecognizable by the time it was finished.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's not the biggest car.
I think the only reason I even survived was because I had a 5-point racing harness in that car. Because I had some mods done to the car that made it faster. It was a 3-speed, so it was quick. But yeah, it was a nasty one. I mean, my engine was about 300 feet away from my car. Yeah, I mean, when she hit me, I guess I had like a weird moment where like my other door was pinned shut, but for some reason I was able to open up my driver's door, and supposedly I didn't know I was covered in blood, didn't know I had 14 broken bones. I rolled out of my car, lit a cigarette, sat on the edge of the thing, and waited for help. As soon as like as I sat on top of the guardrail that had just been destroyed by my car, what was remaining of the guardrail, I ended up passing out, and I didn't know at that time I was having heart issues. So the ambulance picks me up, and I flatline for like over 45 seconds, and that was my near death experience. I had a full out of body experience. I was standing out of my body. I could see myself being checked and started them getting ready to do the paddles. And then all of a sudden I drifted off. There was like this tunnel effect. And as I got towards the end of the tunnel is right where I was sucked back into my body.
Wow.
Whoa.
It was a trippy experience for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot to take in all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, John, it's really nice to meet you, man. I don't want to get into detail because this is all about you, but I can definitely relate. These guys know I had a near-death experience. I was hit on by a drunk driver.
Oh man,
And
I'm sorry to hear that, bro. It's not a fun experience to go through.
Oh yeah, I mean, I went through like a long time physical therapy in a wheelchair. I was in a coma. I didn't actually pass away like you did, though. Your heart actually stopped, and I didn't leave my body. A lot of people talk about that, but I did. I was on life support on a helicopter, and I had a slow motion effect, I guess is what you could say, and I felt like an acceptance. I really thought I was about to pass away. I told my best friend right next to me, just calm as can be, this is it. But yeah, I just want to say, man, I can relate to that, and I served on the fire department for 4 years, and I've been around car wrecks with other people,
Oh yeah, I used to work. I used to work as actually before I got into filming the paranormal. I used to be a storm chaser.
Really?
And I used to travel around the Midwest chasing tornadoes, and also into the deep South.
That's
so awesome. I've always been an adrenaline junkie, and so I used to help respond to people that were having near death experiences. And we would go check houses to make sure people were alive after these monster tornadoes ripped through Oklahoma and Kansas. And yeah, there were some close calls for us too on the roads. But nothing is was as scary as that situation. That was the first time I was scared, but I was at the most peace I had ever been.
I was just going to ask you how you felt.
That's how I felt.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Josh, he did say the same thing, man. He was telling the paramedics, "It's okay."
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
And my best friend, my family was watching me. My best friend's mother was right there. My friend told me, we're gonna get you out, and I'm just like, no, this is it, but it's okay. And like my best friend's mother's eyes rolled back her. She about fainted, because I mean, like this is about you. I don't want to get in detail about this, but I can really relate to that, man. It's the car accident and the tornado thing. I gotta say, I don't play around with tornadoes, to be honest. I live in North Carolina. We don't get tornadoes very often here, and we don't have like basements or anything like that. And I don't know, like my ex-girlfriend is from Texas, and she talked about how she loved seeing them. But for me, like if I feel like a tornado's coming anywhere, I'm going somewhere with a sturdy, like a Walmart or somewhere with the tornado shelter area or something like that. I'm not gonna take the chance, especially with me being on a third floor apartment right now. But
definitely.
Actually, my same best friend I had a near-death experience with, his house got tore apart by a tornado, and his whole family could have got killed. It ripped the whole top of their house off, just completely destroyed it. And they all got into the bathroom and huddled up together. If they would have been in their house normally, they probably wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, we don't play with tornadoes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got respect for you, man. That takes some adrenaline chasing.
Well, actually,
but
one of the guys who trained me in storm chasing died in a tornado.
oh,
So
really? Wow.
he's the
Oh,
one who
man.
used to preach on tornado safety.
Oh, so
he had-
even somebody that knows a lot about tornadoes and how to track them can still get.
you can
hurt.
never predict the weather.
Yeah, you can't predict
Absolutely.
nature.
Yeah.
I want to throw this out there real quick too, because I just told Jim and Jay just the other day. I just had a crazy dream about a tornado the other day, but I'm just putting it out there. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with this, man. But yeah, man, that's awesome. I want to ask you real quick, like, did you ever have any serious close calls whenever you were chasing tornadoes? Like any times where your life was in danger?
As far as my life being in danger, I mean, I got my car turned around by a small tornado. It wasn't enough to be like, oh, this is life threatening. But
Is it a
I've
car?
yeah, I was in my little truck and it spun my
Oh,
car
okay.
around. There's more close calls with lightning than the tornadoes ever were.
Mm.
I can't tell you how many times I was probably the tallest thing in that field, and I was putting myself in risk.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there anything you have to do, like any precautions you take to try to prevent that from happening?
Try not to be the tallest thing in the
field. But when you are, just
Jon,
pray, huh?
Yeah, just pray.
Jon, do you have hardware? You have metal in your body from your accident or anything as well?
I actually had pins in. I had pins in my arm for a while. I had my jaw wired, but most of my bones heal correctly except for my back. I ended up I've had debilitating back issues, and I ended up having to have 2 surgeries on my back.
Yeah, I had my jaw wired shut as well. I got 3 metal plates in my jaw, a rod in my arm, and 7 screws in my ankle. I was just wondering if that. I tell everybody anytime we're like not long ago I was fishing at the Cape Fear River here, and it started thundering and lightning. I'm like, it's time to go, guys.
Where on the Cape Fear do you live? I used to live in Wilmington.
That's where I'm at right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is so crazy.
Yeah. Wow,
dude,
yeah.
I
from
just
Fayetteville,
moved
but I live
from
in Wilmington
just a couple of weeks ago. A couple months ago.
Did you guys set this up?
That's crazy. Yeah.
You guys gotta let me in on these
I
things.
lived in Wilmington on and off for 6 years. I love it there.
They know each other. They're just
I know it. I know. They probably grew up. They're best friends.
I used to hang out at the Bell Mushroom down there in Wilmington.
I was just there yesterday, man.
Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys have it from here.
Sorry, no, this is kind of weird, man.
I'll tell you what, that's
awesome.
One of the most haunted towns I have ever lived in, by far. I live in San Antonio, which is haunted.
Okay.
But Wilmington is just like, it's like taking a step back in time every time you walk through that town.
Sonny, what did I tell you about the dream that I just had? Back in time. I'm sorry. Man, this is so weird.
Everything happens for a reason, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is your podcast, man.
No
sorry.
such thing as coincidence.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, synchronistic. You don't know Ryan Bledsoe, do you? You know the Bledsoe family at all? Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe I picked them up driving Uber back in the day. Who knows? I met my producer, the guy who's produced my documentary from A&E's Ghost Hunters. He ended up. I ended up being his Uber driver 4 years ago.
Wow.
And it's just weird. And then me and him connected up, and we actually knew the same people when we used to snowboard and stuff, and just some weird coincidences of like, dude, how in the hell did we end up both in the paranormal field?
It's weird.
So weird coincidence that you moved. You said you lived here 2 weeks ago at that.
No. I just moved. I moved back here to Texas in August.
Wow.
But I was actually living in Brunswick County, but I lived in downtown Wilmington before, near like Castle Hayne.
Yep, that's right. All right, where I'm at, man. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, my sister lives in Castle Hayne. I'm And I've had some weird experiences happen since I moved here to Wilmington for sure, man. Yeah, that's
Oh,
pretty
dude, I
synchronistic,
used to
man.
live
Crazy.
on a old
Crazy.
Union. It was like a all black Union cemetery that was partially submerged under a swamp. And that cemetery made our whole neighborhood haunted. And that was when I lived in Pender County in Hampstead,
Yeah.
up off of 17, probably about 6 miles down the road from Poplar Grove Plantation. Just super active areas, super haunted.
Did
Yeah,
you ever get to interview anybody from there about that? Since like because that's how I think it would happen. Like if there's a cemetery there, like you said, it would be the whole town.
Oh no, I lived right next to the cemetery. We had poltergeist activity like in our house constantly.
Man.
well, you guys remember what Bobby said as well? Bobby that has come on the show a few times. Remember she lived in Wilmington before. She was talking about the was it like the pirate spirit or something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, because I know like
Blackbeard
Blackbeard, yeah,
was
from
very
Wilmington.
famous. He ended up. Edward Teach was very famous throughout Wilmington. He actually died in the Outer Banks,
Yeah,
and yeah, they killed him horrificaally.
Bruce Lee's son died here. Yeah,
Yeah, I've actually investigated the bar where he was killed.
really,
It's a trip. There was actually a Jack the Ripper of Wilmington back in the 1700s that used to kill people in the alleyway where Blue Post Billiards is.
it's crazy hearing you say this stuff, and it's right next to me. I didn't know about that, man. But
right next to the Bellamy Mansion, the British soldiers hung men, women, and children. The house was called House on Gallows Hill. It sits directly right across the street from the Bellamy Mansion. It's known as the Price House, but now it's an agricultural firm. It places a trip. I get nauseous. I cannot stand foot on that property.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
You feel that much energy coming off of it?
Oh, dude, it pours off of that location. That whole area of like Market and 5th, Market 4th, Market.
I live on Market Street right now. Sorry.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of. I mean, that whole town just radiates energy. I mean, you had people like George Washington he had a summer house in Wilmington at one point when he was fighting for independence. You had the Battle of Wilmington, Battle of Fort Fisher, and the Battle of gosh darn it, Battle of Fort Anderson, Brunswick town, all within 10 miles of downtown Wilmington. 20 miles of downtown Wilmington. You also, not only that, you had the Battle of Morris Creek. So you had British, actually they were Scottish loyalists.
I need to take notes.
And 900 of them were killed at the Battle of Morris Creek up in Curry, North Carolina, about 30 miles north of Wilmington. So, I mean, you have a ton of history just inundated in that town.
That's awesome. I didn't know all that. I mean, I knew things like Michael Jordan's from here, Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he actually went to Laney High School.
Yeah, he was actually here in town about 6 or 7 months ago. He was at Walmart.
No kidding.
Yeah, he just randomly just popped by, and it's they film movies here a lot. I love it here. I've only been here for like 2 years though. Yeah, that's pretty synchronistic, man, that you lived here.
Who is Bruce Lee's son? Was that Brandon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon Lee was killed in that town?
Or was it Brandon Lee or was it Jason Lee?
He was killed while filming The Crow.
Yeah, Brandon Lee.
Yeah, it seems really fishy to me. Like, how did the live bullets get there? You know, like.
I mean, it just kind of reminds me of the whole thing that just happened with Alec Baldwin, to be honest.
Yep. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand how you're supposed to have blanks, and it seems to me like it might have been a setup. I mean, I could be wrong, but how did live bullets get on set? You know. How did a lot of bullets get on a set, period.
Really strange.
And I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan too, by the way. But yeah, man, it's real synchronistic, man. So
yeah, that's crazy.
You said you live in Texas now.
Yeah, I live here in San Antonio, probably one of the other most haunted cities in the country. I actually live in a very haunted apartment. I just posted a video on my TikTok of a candle holder that would look just like this. Hold on, let me see here. Gotta undo this here real quick. This candle holder was sitting on my bedside table because I kind of use this as the couch is kind of my bed. It's a pull-up bed. And so the candle's sitting like this, and then all of a sudden you see it go like this, boom, and it shatters on the floor.
What?
It happened like 2 nights ago. I get stuff thrown in this house all the time.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. I gotta say one more synchronistic thing.
That's
you guys
crazy.
probably aren't gonna believe me, but and I'm gonna leave it alone after this. Okay, you lived in Wilmington. I live here now. You're in San Antonio. That's where my ex-girlfriend was born. Me and her just split up like a few months ago, but
No
lived with her
kidding.
for 2 years. Yeah, lived with her for 2 years in this apartment, and she's from San Antonio, Texas. I mean, sorry, it's just synchronicities are crazy, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's
so
wild.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
weird how that
bizarre.
stuff works.
Yeah, so
Well,
do you like travel around like
Oh yeah.
different states or like other countries and stuff? Like,
So I have currently investigated in 16 different states.
okay, that's awesome. Well, what would you say is the most haunted state?
Yeah, definitely. My roommate was like, my roommate's Eddie from Eddie and Jen the Vlogs, and then some, and he's like, man, it was meant for you and Josh to meet up.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, how in the world? I mean, there's so many cities in the country, and you guys are from the same. It's
Right.
insane.
Yeah, I'm on Market and Kerr, right next to it.
I know exactly where you're at. You're
I know
over
you
by
do.
the YMCA over there.
It's crazy.
Or the Planet Fitness. Yep,
Planet
right
Fitness.
across
Yep,
right
used to
across
go
the
there
street.
all the time.
I can walk to it in 5 minutes. Yeah, literally.
And there's
I'm
that
like-
good little pizza place that's over there in that little nook of shops. Oh man, that place is good.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, I love it here in Wilmington, to be honest.
It's a great city. It's just got a weird vibe to it.
I started seeing orbs. Yeah,
Everybody there, everybody I met there is either alcoholic or something spiritual. It's weird.
Either an alcoholic
I
or
just-
something spiritual.
Yeah, they're like
Or-
either like psychic mediums, paranormal investigators, and then the rest of everybody else is alcoholics.
on Anunnaki. It's a I mean, inside joke. Chad and Sonny know what I'm talking about. I'm not
Yeah,
going to
we're
get into that,
Anunnaki.
but I met a stranger here in Wilmington that claimed he was Anunnaki and thought he was crazy out of his
Jesus.
mind. Maybe he was, but the other thing is, though, so many weird synchronicities fell on top of this short conversation to the point where he walked away. I'm just standing there going like, what the fuck just happened? Yeah,
I'm wait-
it's
You
bizarre,
can get
man,
lost
but
in conversation in Wilmington because some people just like I had this weird guy come up to me too in Wilmington and start talking to me about like my kids and shit. And I'm like, what in the heck is going on? Like he knew my daughter's name and I never mentioned it.
it's the Anunnaki, man.
I'm like, maybe
that
it's
dude.
the same dude.
What if-
Crazy.
Josh, what if he was like, yeah, and then he took my phone and took a picture of my
Did he say? Did he start off with the words, "Hey, I know you. You're me, and I'm you"?
I don't
That's
think
what the guy
he-
said to me at the Cape Fear
That's
River.
what he told him.
At the
Dude,
Cape Fear
there's
River,
just
all
so
place.
much weird
Yep.
stuff. Like I'll be down at the river walking and like
That's where I saw
I'll
this
just-
Anunnaki guy.
Yeah.
At the Cape Fear River, literally. It's so weird. First
Dude,
off, I had my first.
I think of where I came in contact with him was over by the Museum of the Bizarre.
Yeah. I haven't been
Yeah,
inside there,
there.
but I've walked by that. I've
That
walked by
place
that so
sounds
many
cool.
That
times.
place is that place is actually legit haunted too.
Oh, that sounds cool. I want to go there. Josh,
The old-
by the way,
old
I'm coming over there.
Serpentarium's haunted too. If you guys, where Dean Ripa got killed, he used to be North Carolina's largest snake expert.
Oh
he
yeah.
was-
Someone
he
just
was
told me
the
about him not
top
long
guy.
ago.
I used to work for him because in Wilmington I worked
Really?
as a pest control, and I used to capture
Hold
rattlesnakes.
on. You didn't work with Kennedy and Son, did you?
Yes.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
I worked for them for a year.
That's my job, man. That's what
Oh
I mean.
no
I
shit.
just left there. I left there like a month ago. I'm switching to. What the fuck is this, man? This is a setup, man. You guys are pranking me right now,
They're-
pranking
What are
me
you
and
talking
John.
about? You're the one that asked to be on
Come
today.
on,
You're the one setting
so
me up.
Yeah, I think we're getting set up.
so
I
did
think
you
so
know
too,
you,
Sonny.
Dude, I'm not joking.
It's
I
the
did you
best.
literally
know
worked at
Eric?
Kennedy and Son, and I was their snake guy.
You know Eric, black guy Eric out there, real Christian guy.
He must have been after because I left that job in 2018.
Okay, so your boss though was God, okay, how do I just forget his name? Short guy, got the
Yes.
glasses, bald headed guy. We got the same boss, man. Like, I mean, it's
That's
so
insane.
weird, man. Hold on, what's his
This is
name? I'm trying to remember right now.
this is all just to promote Josh's new channel.
Yeah,
This is
He
hey,
did this on
trippy.
purpose.
No, this is really trippy though, man. And no pun intended. I'm sorry, that was so cheesy.
What's he paying you for this,
But
John? He's even
we
using
worked
his
at
name,
the
Trippy.
same job. Are you serious? You lived in Wilmington. You worked at. I've worked at Kingston for the past 2 years. Like I
Yeah.
just left there. I left there like not even a month and a half ago. I'm starting a new job. That's so.
That is great. I went
What's his name?
Kennedy and Son to ARS Rescue Router because I have a background in pest control and HVAC.
I did termite maintenance control for the whole time I was there. So you knew like
F
Courtney.
that shit.
You know Courtney. I know she was probably there while you were there, right?
Probably.
The Native American looking lady. And what's the boss's name? I'm trying to remember the bald headed guy with the glasses. I don't know how I forgot his name.
I can't remember. I had my
is so weird.
supervisor was a good dude.
This is
Yeah,
very
I
weird.
left there on good terms. Yeah, this is really weird. I'm serious. So, yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah, that's trippy. No pun
Definitely.
intended.
Yeah, really.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But
Shout
yeah,
out to me and
investigated
John's old job.
all over
That's crazy,
Wilmington.
guys.
Wilmington, I got to stay overnight at the Poplar Grove Plantation House. I've done a overnight at Bellamy, which is really spooky, and it's a very big building. It's 10,000 square foot mansion. I mean, Poplar Grove is not a small location either. It's 8,000 square feet. Where else did I do in Wilmington?
What's up, Rob? Good to see you.
I did a night stay at the Battle of Fort Fisher where the hermit was killed. There's I think he was like 78 or something. He was an older man. His name was Harold, and I can't remember his first name. But they knew that he was called the Hermit of Fort Fisher, and he was actually murdered by the city officials. And he lived on the battle in an abandoned World War II bunker on the Civil War battlefield for 22 years.
Wow.
And he was like a local celebrity.
What was he killed for?
Because they wanted him off their property, and the sheriff. There's a rumor that the sheriff's son did it,
Oh.
and his buddies, because they beat him to death horribly, and
Oh,
then they
man.
called it that he had a heart attack.
Yeah, that
Like, it
definitely
was
sounds
all
like.
covered up.
Yeah, it was a personal issue. That sounded like.
But I actually caught his voice on a recorder because right after I watched the documentary, and I'm like, "Yo, you got to hear this shit," and it
Wow.
sounds just like his voice on the documentary.
Do you use voice boxes?
So I use stuff like this where I have specialized. You guys can't see it anyway.
Oh yeah, you gotta show your rig off, man. That thing's impressive.
Oh, that is sick.
Check this thing out, guys.
So I have this custom built. So this
Put you on
has
solo.
a channel mixer. So you got your gain, you got your volume level, and you can increase the decibels on this mic, and I can have it on a 2-channel here on my 4K full spectrum. So that's how I'll be able to pick up EVPs really clear. But I also have a custom made microphone that I took using Sony parts that does multi. So it actually does left and right ear audio, and I can actually hook it to my lapel on my shirt while I'm doing EVPs and walk around. And it also takes out all the excess noise going on in your environment. Um, it's a really, really cool piece, and I've caught some crazy stuff over the years with it.
Yeah,
The
that's
Hey,
next
real
thing I
quick.
want to get is something called binaural sound, and it measures
yeah.
the sound 360.
Wow.
That would be cool. I've listened to some videos with headphones on that has that.
Yeah, the
it's trippy.
binaural beats.
Real quick, so you guys, I'm gonna leave this alone. I just had to throw this up in case anybody thought I was pulling your leg or some shit. It's my Canadian son's shirt.
I have mine in my closet, so it's okay. Mine was
So
a green
weird,
polo.
man. Oh yeah, I've got the
Please
green ones
don't tell
over
me your truck was number 17.
here. What the fuck?
Oh my
Get
god,
the
you
fuck out
guys.
of here, man. Come on.
No
you-
fucking way, dude. What the fuck
You
are
had
you?
that piece of shit?
You
Yeah,
guys, are you serious
fuck.
right
no,
now?
what the?
I
I'm
quit.
dead serious,
quit,
dude.
Chad.
This,
You had my truck, dude. Oh
That is
my
insane.
god.
I had 17 for like about 4 or 5 months, and then I got
Yeah.
truck 27. I got 27 afterwards. You're right,
Oh
17
my
is a piece
god,
of
you
shit.
guys.
This is so weird, man.
Dude, I think they start
Wow,
every newbie on 17 at one point or another.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
So weird, man.
weird.
Yeah,
guys
so
are
I'm gonna
crazy.
leave that alone. But that's a bizarre synchronicity. I feel like you guys set me and John both up, man. Like y'all looked at our background and shit. And,
Ryan just joined up on the
That's how we do
chat.
it.
Good to see you,
Extensive
Ryan.
research.
Yep. That's our booking team for you.
Yeah.
Cassie, Oracles and Beyond. She knows
Yeah.
how to do
oh,
it.
so it was Cassie that set this up, man. She looked at both our backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I got you guys.
She's like, let me show you guys one hell of an interview.
I'm gonna show you, trippy bitch. I'm not talking to you, Cassie. I'm saying that's what you were thinking. Take it to me.
Gosh, don't
I think
insult.
Cassie was calling me the bitch. I'm not calling her one.
Don't insult the
Oh,
people in
man.
the chat.
No, I mean she was wanting to punk me as I'm the
I know
bitch is what I meant. Yeah,
I'm teasing.
I'm just going
I know
to.
you
I'm
never
sorry.
said
I'm sorry. I got caught way off guard by all
She's
this. But yeah,
cracking
man, this is your podcast, man.
Oh yeah. No, I'm enjoying this a
sorry.
lot. Actually, this is cool.
It weirded me out.
No way he drove truck 17 at Candy and Sons in Wilmington, North Carolina.
I know.
Maybe
like,
we've
what?
even lived in the same house or something. This is just getting weird.
Yeah, like, you never know what
it's
else.
So bizarre.
No, I actually used to live not too far from you on Market and Henry Street.
Oh yeah, dude, that's like walking distance from me.
Yeah,
Like I'm
I
right
know
behind
exactly where-
right behind the Taco Bell on Market Street. Like
Yeah.
literally, that's like what a half a mile down the road. Dude, it's so weird. Like, it really is bizarre as hell.
Hey guys,
yeah, it's
I see you
crazy.
asking questions in the chat. If you guys could put them in all caps for sure, because I barely can read the chat as it is, and if you have questions, I kind of skip over them sometimes.
Ryan Seymour said, I currently started testing my studio mics and recording software at live locations for EVPs. If you ever use different mics and cameras to see what they pick up. Yeah, so I actually do that. I actually will set up like 5 or 6 different audio recorders to see what gets picked up and to see if I can get it verified on almost, or if not all, those devices.
Sweet.
What would you say is the most I guess haunted state that you've been to?
That's a tough one, man. New Orleans, Louisiana, on my top list. Florida is very high up there with many, and I just did North Florida. I haven't even hit Southern Florida, so I got a chance to spend. Well, I used to live in South Georgia, so I used to head down to Florida all the time.
Man, yeah, you guys are not going to believe me. Look, my mother's family is from Georgia.
No shit.
That's
Yes,
crazy.
man. I'm just going to stop, man. People are going to be like,
Yeah,
man, this
my
guy's
dad.
full of shit.
What's
Yes,
St. Augustine, or is he
I
talking
was
about
born in
San
Fayetteville.
Antonio location? Oh, San Antonio. Emily Morgan, I have not been. Meeker, I've walked into. But I've done Woman Hollering Creek. Um, I've done a couple of locations out in Floresville, but I've been focusing a lot of my time in Kansas right now. Um,
Did
I
you have any
got I got like 6 locations in Kansas that I have the keys for currently.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
Let's go.
Did you have any major experiences in here in North Carolina?
yeah, Battle of Morris Creek, an area with no power whatsoever. It's just an empty field. Where almost 1,000 people died during the
I did not know
Revolutionary
that.
War. I ended up having my EDI spike to 4 milligauss in the middle of the field, which shouldn't have happened.
Wow.
That
Wow. So
was
how long have
Battle
you
of
been
Morris
doing this?
Creek.
I have not been to Donkey Lady Bridge yet. I have just started getting into the San Antonio locations, but like I said, most of my time I've been focusing on 2 major locations in Kansas. One of them is what we call the Demon Theater, and the name doesn't come lightly. There's a reason why we call it that. It's not I'm Ghost Adventures, everything's a demon. No, this place is true evil. Like, I came back and my car literally disintegrated on the highway from this investigation.
Jeez.
Wow.
I
What do
had
you mean exactly?
my whole throttle body and both my axles went out on the highway coming back
I
from
just
that
fell
location.
apart.
Mhm.
Wow.
Hmm.
Anybody who tries to get rid of the entity ends up dying. Every
Oh,
owner who's passed it on to the new owner, he dies like within a week or so of getting rid of the place. That's why the owner won't give it up. But he's like, "Hey, you guys can manage it for me. I just want nothing to do with it."
Mhm.
Because
so is this
his
entity?
wife was cleaning the sigils out of the building, and ended up getting hit by a semi truck that day.
Oh, wow. So this
Yeah.
entity you're talking about, does it attach itself to specific people, or you said you're trying to get
No,
rid
it,
of it?
it preys on people psychologically, and
Okay.
then
I've
it
been
it plays, and if you really piss it off, it will send one of its little minions with you, and it's diabolical. Like, I had so much effed up shit happening to me, like mentally. I ended up getting like really depressed with some thoughts where I had to call a psychologist because I thought I was gonna do something stupid.
uh, I
Hmm.
have a quick question for you. For one, I'm somewhat new into all this. It was a little, maybe around a year ago now. I became open up to all this when I started having a lot of orb experiences. But
Hmm.
I look back on like other experiences that I've had in my past, like different now, like especially a dream that I had where I saw my grandfather that always felt like something just out of this world. But I still try like my best to bridge the science and the, I guess, the spirituality or the metaphysical or however paranormal, whatever you want to label it as. I look at everything like energy or whatever. But do you think paranormal entities like what you're talking about? Do you think they could be like an extra dimensional type being or something? Like what you're saying, maybe they, if you have a low frequency, like low motions, it makes them easier to latch on to somebody or something.
Yeah, I think, and people who are more open to the idea of people who might be even clairvoyant, like I am, tend to get attachments a lot easier because the spirits know you're open, and sometimes when you're at those locations it's hard to shut that ability down. And um, this location, it doesn't matter who you are, it goes after everybody, anybody's free game. And my buddy's been there like 40 times, and there's times he calls me and he's like, "I just got back from the theater, bro. I'm not doing so well. Stuff's getting thrown in my house. I'm getting attacked." And then I end up having to get him on the phone with our Catholic priest friend.
How many times did you say
He's
he
been
went
there
there?
like 30 or 40 because he lives right next to it.
He keeps going back. That's crazy.
Well,
So what
we're
does he
trying
do?
to
Get an
plan on
exorcism?
filming a documentary there.
What you said he called a priest. What do you do? An exorcism for him or something?
He prayed for him, and then he actually went over to his property and did like the holy water thing. Had him make me a bunch of holy water. So I have like a pitcher's worth of holy water in my apartment right now.
Just in
On the
case.
topic of the holy water, me and Chad were just talking a few podcasts ago, and like I said, I used to be skeptical about a lot of this stuff, but even I look at everything differently now. Even things like religion and like holy water. I'm sure you've heard of I think his name is Dr. Emoto, where he does the experiments with the water. Have you heard about that?
I
And
haven't.
he does like these prayers, and he puts sticky notes on these cups of water, and he freezes them, and like a lot of them are positive, like affirmations or whatever, and then the other ones are negative. And whenever they look at the water particles, I'm sorry, they're like, it's like the frequency from him saying his prayer or whatever. I mean, it's not the sticky note, makes different shapes, and the more positive ones like love, happiness, joy, they're like these more symmetrical, almost kind of snowflake looking icicle, like ice particles. The other ones where he puts like hate, evil, greed, all this other stuff, it's just like this chaotic, negative looking water
Oh
particles.
yeah,
And
because it's
they go
all
to the fact
how
that you're,
how your electrical impulses
yeah,
change the ions in the
yeah,
water
your
or the
frequency, yeah,
atmosphere. Like when
yeah,
me and my buddy are doing experiments, we did this test, and we didn't have a Jacob's ladder, so we used the next best thing, a taser, and shot it off in the air and see what would happen. That was the worst idea I've ever had. Like
really.
it actually tossed a JBL speaker at us.
Oh
What?
wow,
Yeah, in that location.
That's a waste of a
it sounds like
JBL
there's
speaker.
some weird magnetic anomalies or something.
Well, every time the
That's
spirit in that
bizarre.
meter ends up moving through this entity, it sounds like a sonic boom, and I've caught it on camera a
That's
couple of
terrifying.
times. We found blood spatter in that place to the point where we were like shocked that we didn't find a person deceased because of there that much blood. We've found some horrific letters written by some very disturbed people inside of that building. I anytime I see and I had a friend of mine open one of those letters up and then take something from that location, and his place got really bad. He lost like almost everything like within weeks of being in that location.
Wow. So uh, I want to say this real quick. You just triggered a memory that I haven't thought about since I was a kid. I didn't believe this back then, but this wasn't me. This was a friend that I had back in high school when I lived in Fayetteville. He told me the story a few times, and I always thought he was just making up shit. But then even one day, his mother told me, this really happened to him. Apparently, they were back in the woods in Fayetteville. We found these old tombstones that these uh these tombstones were like from the late 1800s, and they were like old as a family. It was a mother and father and two children, and they were just separated, isolated way back in the woods. I mean, literally like 1890, something like that. And I think it said something about like a house fire or something like that somewhere. And one of my friends, just being a little dickhead back then, he was only like 11, 12 years old, decided to take a piss on one of the tombstones. And I told him then, I was like, dude, that's so screwed up. I wasn't thinking nothing else. Well, when he gets home that night, he has some kind of experience, and he calls me the next morning or comes to my house next morning like crying, like freaking out, saying that he woke up in the middle of the night and there was this shadow figure looking entity that was walking on all fours, and then like came and like tried to latch onto him or something. He ran to his mother, and he said it was like trying to grab his legs as he was running to his mother. He said he felt like it was slowing him down while he was running. And his
Jeez.
mother is a full-blooded Native American, and she completely believed it. And well, I thought he was lying. I went to her and was like, "Is he telling the truth about this?" She's like, "Yes." She's like, "He brought an evil spirit. His dumb ass shouldn't have pissed on that tombstone. That's why he's grounded for the whole summer." And I'm like,
Oh Lord.
"Really?" But yeah,
Hey
sorry.
guys,
You just triggered that memory, man. I just thought I'd share that, man. Sorry.
guys, I'm gonna
Oh, hey,
stop us
Sonny.
for a second. I don't like to interrupt you on your show, Josh, but I got to
Oh, I'm
stop us.
done. No, sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
No,
This
you
is
guys
not
are doing
me,
awesome.
sorry.
I'm gonna be honest. This
That's
is awesome.
hilarious.
You guys are doing great, dude. I'm telling you, this is good. But
I want to learn about his
Melissa,
experiences, man. Yeah.
Melissa has gave us a $10 donation.
Woo!
Then she backed it up with a $20 donation.
Awesome,
$30.
Melissa.
Thank you, Melissa.
We love you. You're
That's
awesome.
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
It helps. It helps out so much, guys, and we appreciate those donations more than you'll ever know.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
That's
Helps
so
go
Awesome,
to
Melissa.
gas and
Thank you.
expenses and God knows what.
keeping all the lights on.
Keeps the lights on, keeps StreamYard going, keeps YouTube happy. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate it, Melissa. Awesome.
Yes.
It's gonna take a while to get used to donations coming in.
Yeah,
That's awesome. We're rich, bitch.
Melissa, Chad, Sonny, everybody in the family. We're gonna go to a music festival one year. Just all of us, just get together. I don't know why. I had that idea, man. And John, you're welcome to come too, man. You're pretty awesome. I can tell that already, man.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna actually be coming back to Wilmington sometime this year. I'm not sure the exact when. June 11th. I'll be back in Wilmington.
Really?
Sweet.
What fun. I
Party.
more likely will still be here. I love it here. I love going to the
Oh
beach.
yeah.
Let me know. Hit me up
Not
if you come
only
by.
do
Maybe
you
we can
have
go.
the beach in Wilmington, you also have the river that intersects right there at the peninsula. So it's just a energy turbine holding all that energy together.
Yeah, my MUFON investigator even told me that the Cape Fear River is a vortex over here, and I totally believe it because I've had experience.
Every single major hurricane loves riding up that river.
Yeah. I don't know. Sorry. I've heard stories about like Native American tribes and stuff in the Cape Fear River, going back in the day and stuff too.
Yeah,
So,
the lower Cape Fear Indians. Actually, you should go check out a place called Fort Anderson, Brunswick Town if you haven't been there already.
I've been there before.
It's in Southport, North Carolina. Actually, my friend runs the ghost tour there in Southport. Her name is Katie Compton. Her tour is really, really cool. And she takes you to all the major haunted locations in Southport, North Carolina. And the
Can you tell me the name of that again real quick? Sorry.
Yeah, her company is called the Old South Tour Company. Tell her John sent you.
Old say that again, sorry.
Old South Tour Company. I'll put her Facebook right here in the chat too.
All right, man, that's awesome.
Her name is Katie Compton, I guess her married name is different, but it's Katie Compton Boyd. She's one of my good friends. I've gotten into some locations with her. My old team is in Wilmington, so.
Wow. Yeah, that's
John Brassel was asking you, have you ever been a place where voodoo is used or had an experience with voodoo-related energies?
I've never had an experience personally with voodoo-related energies, but I've been to the voodoo priestess grave in New Orleans.
I was about to ask if that was in New Orleans.
I went inside of Voodoo Authentica, which is a super wild, crazy energy. Voodoo Authentica in downtown New Orleans. If you guys have not checked that place out, it's wild.
I'd love to go to New Orleans. I always want to go there.
Oh man, the food.
I love the music too. I want to go there for food and the music, to be honest. And
I actually didn't make it to any of the investigations. I just got lost in my po' boy.
And your po' boy. You got good food down there.
Oh man, their food is phenomenal. We had like deep fried gator. We had po' boy.
I love alligator, man. Alligator tells the shit.
Hey, they got a gator farm on the way to Fort Anderson, Brunswick Town. Shit's good.
What does it taste like with a gator tail? Is it like chicken? It looks like
it's
white
like
meat.
a very protein-driven chicken.
I've ate
good,
rattlesnake, and it kind of tasted like
very much. Chicken. It's very much on the same kind of premise as snake.
I've never had snake. You got to have the perfect sauce for the alligator tail. I went to, I think it's called Dick's or Dickies in the Outer Banks here. If you ever heard of that, I went there. It's the first time I ever ate alligator tail, man. It was and it's so crazy talking to you. You know every word that I'm talking about. I feel like you already live here right now, man.
Well,
Yeah,
because
we're
I
gonna have
used
to.
to, I used to go like randomly exploring and storm chasing throughout North Carolina, and also like looking for abandoned places. I used to find some really cool places like up towards like Emerald Isle.
Yeah,
I love it up there. Oh my God, it is
yeah,
gorgeous.
it's
That's probably
beautiful.
one of the most gorgeous coastlines next to Carolina Beach. Wrightsville's okay. I just think the cops there are dicks, but that's just my opinion.
Yes, they
They
are.
get you for parking quarter inch with your tire outside the wrong radius. I mean, they just are bored as hell. They literally
They
pull you over for everything.
they got me for being on the beach, for not having my beer in a koozie in a yeah. Just like other people walking around with beers, they're like, "Oh, you don't have your beer in a cup holder or a I'm buying one drink." You know what I'm talking about? The
Dude,
fucking
I'm
thing that
pretty
you use to
sure
keep
I
your beer
have
cold.
a $30 parking ticket still outdated from like 4 years ago, bro. I don't pay. I never
I
paid that
just
shit
I just got a parking ticket a couple weeks ago.
because they
Oh
pulled
man,
me over for illegally parking to pick up customers when I was driving for Uber, and they tried to have my car towed. I'm like, oh hell no, you're not.
Were you still in the driver's seat?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know they could pull you or like ticket
they're
you for
like,
parking if you're
oh yeah, dude, they were
still
getting
there.
like super horrible. So they gave me a $30 parking ticket for stopping in the middle of the road to let my customer out in front of
Jeez.
the
what?
bar.
Oh man, assholes. Yeah, I love Carolina Beach though. I heard you mention that, man. That's
Oh
my
yeah.
favorite beach to go
Yeah, you
camping
have
out
to
Fort
on.
turn me over to
Fisher,
you
if
for
you have
that.
a chance to really explore Fort Fisher, check out the old World War II tunnel. There was a story of an old man called the Hermit of Fort Fisher. He was murdered inside of that place.
A tunnel? I've been to
Yeah.
Fort Fisher plenty of times. I didn't know there was a tunnel there.
Well, there's like an old
That's interesting.
abandoned World War II bunker in the middle of one of the. It's kind of like towards the back where the earth mounds are. The World War II bunker is built into the earth mound.
You talking about over there by the aquarium, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna check that out, man. It's awesome. And
Uh,
whenever you come to Fayetteville, Wilmington in June, man, hit me up and maybe we can go like I don't know, you can show me a ghost or a spirit or something
Some
not evil that's gonna latch
CE5.
on to me, man. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, man, if you don't mind. I'm not trying to change the subject, but have you ever had anything in the sky, like any orbs or any
oh yeah.
craft at all? You have seen orbs?
Oh yeah. Even just taking photos at Fort Fisher, I caught a shitload of orbs. I have a lot of light, what I call light anomalies. Somebody asked, John, do you have any definitive proof of any physical effects on those you work with during the investigations? Yes. I currently have it on a backup drive, but I actually at the abandoned Kansas hospital I was at, my buddy ended up getting partially taken over and I got it on camera. I just got to download the footage, but I won't be airing it out to the public. But
Wow.
he had 3 scratch marks on either side of his neck, and they came around to the front.
Sheesh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna pull that up, Sonny. Sorry. Melissa said go
Yes, the
investigate the battleship.
USS North Carolina. Yeah, the battleship is haunted as hell. I've done an overnight.
You've done
Yeah,
an
Uh,
overnight there?
What is it?
the
Where's
battleship.
that at?
that's right. You know the big battleship that you can see from the Riverwalk?
Yeah, I've been on it a
Yeah,
couple of times now. Yeah,
you can investigate it. It's
I
haunted
didn't
as
know
hell.
that. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
during Halloween they do some kind of event there, don't they?
Oh no, all year round.
Yeah. Oh
That's
really?
pretty cool,
I
man.
didn't know that.
Yeah, 10 people were killed when a Japanese torpedo went through that boat.
Really? I
Hmm.
didn't know that. I haven't been on it since I was probably like
I
12 years
have
old, to be
yet
honest.
to do the USS Lexington. I'm going to be making a trip. I have a owner of a location here in Texas. I'm going to be talking to here soon about giving me unrestricted access to a plantation house here in Texas soon. So
Hmm.
So
that'll be
the
happening.
orbs, the orbs that you mentioned, can you give like any details on them? Because that's mainly what I've experienced, and I've been having the belief
I
that
can do
there could
better
be.
than detail. I could show you exactly some of the
Yeah,
stuff
awesome.
that I got.
That'd be sweet.
Let's see here. I think it's gonna be.
And I was gonna say, do you have the belief that the orbs could be a wide variety of things? I know
Oh
Melissa in
yeah,
the
I
chat.
definitely think it's a transference of energy.
Yeah, like compressed energy or something.
Yeah.
Yep, Melissa in the chat, she asked me the other day on Paranormal Chop Shop. I didn't see it till after we got off. If I thought the orbs are just extraterrestrial, and like, no, I
Okay,
think they could
so
be. I
the
think they could
first
be a
video
wide
I'm
variety of
gonna
things.
show is the Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Me walking solo down the body chute.
Sweet.
You can literally see my breath.
Oh, that's creepy already.
It is that cold, guys.
I don't know
Is
why.
that the orb right there?
No, the orb is going to be right at the end,
Okay.
but it's skipping a
There
lot.
has been thousands upon thousands of bodies.
But before that happened, I ended up having a 30-degree temperature drop in the body chute, and to the point where I could see my breath.
That is creepy. Like, is there any like effect? Do you have like night vision on your camera right now?
Yeah, so this is
Okay.
actually a custom GoPro that shoots in 4K that does full spectrum infrared.
That's pretty cool.
There has been thousands of.
Is this on YouTube? Hey, John, did we lose you?
John, can you hear us?
I think his computer froze up.
Oh yeah, I think he's frozen.
Hey, I
Stuff.
think I lost you guys.
Oh,
He's
he
still
is
there?
now.
The video might be pulling your internet down a little bit, but
Okay, hold on.
Is that on YouTube? If you
yeah,
want to, is that on YouTube? I can pull it up.
it's not on. Do I have this on YouTube? God, I can't remember. I did just post a Waverly Hills video, but I don't think this one was on it. I caught so much at Waverly that it was hard to pick and choose.
Okay.
hey, boomer.
But yeah, my screen is completely frozen right now.
Oh. Well, we can pull you out and then have you do a reset if you want, or do like a. You can
Jump
reset
back
your
in.
browser.
Come on.
Yeah, let me see if I could do that real quick.
Okay.
Jump out and jump back in. See if it works.
Yeah, that usually works. Yeah, I think it was just that video when you tried playing it, it just pulled too much. Freaked his computer out. Oh yeah, Enzo said if it's a 4K video, it'll take a lot more of your bandwidth.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, the
Don't
video's
start with
starting to look creepy
innuendos.
already.
What's up, Cassie? How's it going? Thanks for posting all the links.
Melissa got his YouTube too, I think. Here.
Cassie,
cool.
thank you for the other day helping me out with my channel as well.
Yeah. Did we get Josh's link in here too? I want to get that in here.
Cassie, I still think that you set up this. No, she didn't even tell us going to be on here with you guys. It's crazy synchronicity.
Dude, this is very synchronous.
Dude, it's the same job, same town. I mean, same city. Like,
yeah.
Okay,
God,
I
it's
knew.
always-
I knew. That's why I booked it all.
There we go.
Is that? Oh,
I
wait,
knew
that
somebody was
was-
going to admit to it.
It was Cass.
Same work truck, which I think he's right. I think every newbie gets that truck for a little bit. This is a piece of shit.
It was
That's so
Cass
bizarre.
with those scary, terrible cards you guys play with.
Oh, Melissa had it. Thanks, Melissa.
Those
Tarot cards?
Yep, it was the terrible cards.
The terrible cards.
They scare me, so I call them that.
Okay,
man?
I'm back.
Oh,
Sorry.
that worked perfect. Yeah, looks
Alright.
good.
It's all right. We were dropping links for you and everything while you were
Yeah.
gone. We were doing
Yeah,
a,
so
we were
it
doing
is-
a John commercial.
Oh,
No,
I
it doesn't.
appreciate that. I'm trying to find a really good orb video, and I think I'm gonna go. For some reason, I think my computer kind of freaked out when I dropped some 4K footage.
Yeah, that's what somebody in the chat said too. They were like, hey, if you're pulling 4K, it's going to probably
Yeah.
pull a lot of juice.
I just turned up my CPU on my computer because my computer, I can actually control the CPU and GPU.
Oh, sweet.
So let me see if I could give it a little more juice and see if I can.
Is it liquid cooled?
No, it's just It's just a really high-end gaming laptop.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's see if I can get that up here now.
You can literally see my breath. It is that cold, guys.
Yeah, I wonder why it is.
You know what?
There
Hold
has
on.
been
Go ahead and
thousands
cancel
upon
this
thousands
out.
of bodies.
I'm gonna open it up a different way and see if I could just share my screen and do it that way.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be faster.
Oh, did you do share video file?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how often we've done that before, but when we do share screen, it usually works pretty good.
Okay. Let me see here.
The video file is usually downloaded to your computer. I thought that worked better.
Yeah.
I wasn't for sure.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll find out.
I have one that's better than an orb. I caught a whole shadow figure walking in the cemetery, but I'll show that.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
We'll look at that one too. We'll
Sign
look at
me
that
up for that one.
Hey, we were on SOR. I was watching that the other night.
Now I'm trying to find this Waverly clip again. I have so much footage on here. I'm like, this screen's so small.
Good morning, Bobby.
Bobby.
Good
morning, Bobby.
Well, I could show this one because this one's like a vertical clip and it's pretty. I'm gonna have to show this one this way. This might not be as hardcore to see.
I wonder if Josh's camera or his phone died.
There we go. Here's my screen, so let me get up here.
That's working a lot better. There's Josh.
Okay, watch this.
Just
so
in time, Josh.
This is inside the body chute here.
Oh, I missed the orb video.
Nope.
Oh, is that it right there?
That's one orb video from Waverly.
Whoa.
Oh,
change direction.
They can be small, Chad.
Yeah.
Chad, they can be small. Remember the thing that was in that I showed you that video where I was in the museum?
Yeah, Sonny, I forgot about
just
that.
like the thing that came over the counter.
That's crazy how it was falling and then stopped and
it
changed
goes
directions.
into their purse.
It just changed directions. That's insane.
Yeah, it's that one is using the 4K full spectrum, and then if I go here, because these are all the ones I save for TikTok. These are like some of my best of the best little short captures. God, I'm trying to find where that Waverly clip went here. If not, I could show you the Salina, Kansas Masonic Temple one. That one's crazy too. That Masonic Temple is even more haunted than Waverly by a margin.
Well, normally we don't play videos on here because we get flagged for using other people's YouTube videos.
Well,
so
see,
this is excellent.
These are actually not on YouTube right now. So
that's why I'm like, okay, we'll just watch
YouTube,
whatever.
it's my content. So go have fun with yourself.
Thanks. I'll definitely always put your link in the description.
I'm trying to find. God. That Waverly clip. Oh, here it is, the body chute. I just had a title, not Waverly. Okay. So you should be able to see it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's playing good. Yeah, this video starts out creepy.
There's no audio, but I don't know if that matters.
Let's see.
Sonny, is that yours?
No, that's on here.
Is somebody listening to a voicemail or something?
No. John, do you have a company over or something? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
I turned it way up.
My
I heard
roommate was talking.
That's okay. I didn't know who we were.
So right as I get about here, I feel like somebody starts walking behind me. Like I get that feeling. There's something like a man who is standing behind me. I turn around. I'm like, "Who's there?" Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right as I turn around, you can see my breath, and then a light goes into the wall.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh
saw it.
yeah.
Now,
Whoa.
all the orbs you see, are they
Oh,
all
back it up and
small,
do that
small
again.
ones like
Back
that?
it. Oh, never mind. There it is. Oh wow.
That's crazy. What was that?
And you saw that with your own eyes whenever you're recording it?
I didn't see the light anomaly. I just felt somebody walking behind me.
Oh,
Ooh. Okay, that
that's
was crazy.
That's bizarre. And
Coming to get
and
you.
Yeah. It came from behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it changed.
Well,
changed
actually,
it.
that was in front of him, and he thought someone was
Bizarre.
behind him. And when he turned back around, it was kind
It
of.
was back there.
Yeah.
That's
That's
bizarre,
crazy.
man.
That was
All
that
the
was
orbs
John, I have a video that I shot like that. I was messing around because I don't do that stuff. I actually did it for Cass. I wanted Cass to see this place where we hold our drag races. And there's this part, I sent it to Chad. I'm going through this museum where we have our drag races. It's an old army base, and they have.
There's a spider crawling on my hat. I hope not.
Uh-oh, I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
Might have-
And I'm not a spider person, so I
Uh-oh.
wish you didn't say that. Because then I'll start like, oh man, it's crawling on me. I feel itchy everywhere.
This
It's one of the reasons I left
this
Kennedy.
army
Son.
base has
No, I'm playing.
has barracks.
No, we don't bother me too bad. Sorry.
I'll never forget when I was training. I had a Black Widow go into my crawl suit.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no.
Dude, that gave
Oh,
me
man.
a fucking panic attack. All of a sudden, it peaks up right here on the base of my neck, where like it's really close to my fucking brain, and
Oh, no.
this thing crawls right there. My boss is all, John, don't move, and I thought he was fucking with me, and he's like, no, seriously, don't move. And he grabs it and squishes it in his glove, and he goes, here you go. There's a Black Widow. I was like, oh my god.
man.
It's driving me
Now I'm
crazy. I
waiting to
can't
see
remember
this
his
spider
name.
crawl off your hat, actually.
Yeah, really. Where's he at? Let's
Hey,
go.
John, did you know another John out there at Kennedy Center? Did you know Adrian?
I don't know who Adrian.
Okay. So Adrian's the only guy out there that believes in all this supernatural, paranormal stuff. He's like the only person I could told about a lot of this.
That little orb that you have on video, when I was at the drag races, our drag races are at a retired army base, and there's barracks there. And when I guess they found a bunch of stuff there too when they bought the place. Maybe they opened a museum there. I was walking through that museum, and there's two different parts. I show this jacket as I'm walking by it, just so you can see like there's nothing. And then I go back and I touch the jacket. Okay, after I touch the jacket, I'm just feeling the buttons, because it's a really old army, like maybe dress coat or something. And I was just amazed at like how it felt and how well made they feel. Like it feels like it'd be really warm. And as I'm scanning away from the jacket, there's a little ship sitting on a counter. And on the other side of the counter, I stop. I stop with the phone because I could see something in the phone. And there's this little white thing, just like you had filmed right there. It comes over the counter, and then it's going kind of slow. Then all of a sudden, just it takes off real fast. And then you start seeing a bunch of them coming from not where I'm on one side of a counter, and the little orbs are coming from the other side, and they're coming underneath this boat. There's like a ship model, and it wasn't happening though. Like you can see through the video before, there's none of those orbs until I touch that jacket. When I touch the jacket, they just start coming from the opposite side of the room.
Like, don't touch that jacket.
It looks just like that orb though. There's one that comes in from the side, it comes from the top, and then it goes real fast and darts down. That looks just like what I seen on your video right now. Yeah. I've never seen them that small. I've been asking people, can they be little? You know, is that?
Oh yeah, they can definitely be little. Let me see here real quick. If
Chad might be able to pull that up. I don't think I can, Chad.
Which one was it? Oh, the one that you sent me of the army base?
Yeah.
And there seems to be such a wide variety of orbs. That's why I feel like they could be just a multitude of things. Like maybe they can be extraterrestrial, they can be paranormal, spiritual, whatever. You know, it's like you said, it's compressed energy. The ones I see are more like balls of light. They're usually in the sky. Seen a couple of them come down a little low, but I've never seen them small like that though. Not in person at least. It's pretty fascinating though. Have you ever had?
I will
Sorry.
share this last one real quick. As far as orbs go, before I get into the shadow. So this is the Salina, Kansas Masonic Temple. It's about the same size as Waverly. It's 185,000 square feet. It's in Salina, Kansas, and it's crazy haunted. And we set up about $10,000 worth of equipment in the basement to give a little backstory of why we're sitting next to toilets. And we had the equipment lined up throughout the area, but all the activity kept pointing with REM pods going off, and because we set like basically a very expensive trip line to get this thing to find out where it was, and we have REM pods, Mel readers, EDIs. We have all this expensive gear going off towards the bathroom. So that's why we set stage in here. This is where shit starts to get weird.
Really? And look at my camera did at the time. Are you the little girl from up on this first floor? Dude, that was crazy. Or do you like this room?
Whoa.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, that was strange.
And then you hear a voice.
Oh, there's two. Oh, I thought it was two of them. Sorry. Yeah, that's bizarre.
That
Man.
is crazy.
I didn't hear the voice.
There's
so I might
number
talk to
2.
it.
Huh.
There was two of them.
Can you stand next to Jon?
Wow. These are things you can't see without the camera. Like you can't see these with.
It's completely.
Swamp gas.
Yeah, really swamp gas.
That's swamp gas.
That's yeah, that's fascinating, man.
And then you hear a voice go, Sarah. Like, listen to this.
I don't feel it in here anymore. I don't feel it in here anymore. I think it's gone.
I couldn't quite make out the Sarah part, but I definitely seen that orb. That's fascinating.
Yeah, the orbs
man.
are cool to see.
Yeah, and they're like these little donut Oreos or donut like smoke rings almost is what they look like. Never have I ever seen an orb like that.
No,
Wow.
the ones that we've seen are like way farther away, but they're like more balls of light. Like a
I've
fight.
seen a
Yeah.
couple come about like tree level, a little bit above the
I
trees.
actually do have a couple of photos from the Salina, Kansas Masonic Temple when I was just taking. I took like 740 shots at the Salina, Kansas Masonic Temple because the place is just so big. It's hard. I wanted to make sure I had photo documentation of everything. And I ended up capturing 3 photos where these like orange fiery things are moving through the place. It's weird. Very odd.
Hey, just while we're on the topic.
Okay, there's a.
Where you from? Yeah.
This is actually in Chris Bledsoe's backyard.
And this is the night I was here this night. This was right after I left, but I'd seen like 15 of them, got them on camera. And
Oh, dude, I've had so many UFO experiences in Wilmington.
Really? That's
Oh, dude.
yeah, that's what it really kicked off for me.
Yeah, I love this one.
I'll
because
tell
it's
you,
like a
there's
purple.
something weird with the Cape Fear River and
That's where I had my first experience. Sorry.
That's also where, isn't that also where?
Abducted.
Oops, sorry,
Yeah.
Josh.
And Chris Jr. had his experience. Yeah, quite a few people.
There's definitely something weird going on there.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with the aliens liking Camp Lejeune for some reason. Because
that's interesting.
well, there's also Camp Sunny down there in Brunswick, and you have the Army base right there off of Fort Fisher.
Hey, Bree.
Oh yeah. Anything, Rosie? Yeah.
Makes me wonder if the UFOs are going after our military secrets or something.
Well, I've never heard. That's the first time I've ever heard Camp Lejeune mentioned in anything related to paranormal. So I wonder if.
Oh, I've had friends that are Marines that'll straight tell you that it's haunted.
I was just about to say I've got a military friend that told me he had an experience at Camp Lejeune.
Oh wow, that's
yeah.
sweet.
Have you
That's
ever had an entity like approach you in a dream?
Oh
Sorry,
yeah,
Chad. Like
I've had
like
full on
like,
premonitions before certain investigations.
yeah, it's
Did you already pull that one up?
Wilmington
No, I
is
was just
super
getting ready
haunted.
to
That's
see.
where my friend basically got
Click me.
possessed. Yeah, Wilmington's a weird town. Like,
who said that?
That was Bobby.
Oh, hey Bobby, we were just
That's where
talking
she
about you
was
earlier.
basically possessed.
Yeah, she
oh,
lived here in
you were
Wilmington too.
basically possessed. Jeez.
Dude,
Oh yeah, remember she
Bobby's.
told us that? Didn't she said she started to have like an English accent or something? That's what I was talking about earlier with the pirates or something. Remember, it was just something about pirates, and she had like I think a British or English accent or something. She was on your podcast, Chad. First time she came on, she mentioned it.
Wow, that's I have a hard time remembering some of the questions that I ask, but yeah, that's it's crazy that she has some of the same synchronicities that you guys do.
Yeah, yeah, Bobby down there, John. I met her. We were supposed to do a C5 thing here in Wilmington. Me and her didn't end up meeting up, but she told me she was going to remote view and check on us at the beach. And at the time, I didn't know if I believed in remote viewing. When I get home, she tells me that she saw a circle, which we were in a circle doing the meditation thing. I was just trying out a C5 for the first time. It didn't even work at the beach. But while we were meditating, me and the person next to me both saw bright white flashing light in our head while we are meditating. I didn't know until after the meditation was over and she said I saw white flashing light. And I'm like, oh my God. Like so did I. And on top of that, there was another person there who had the I'm sorry, what are they called? The devices that you use for paranormal investigation, like for like I was like EED, I can't remember what it's called.
Or EMF.
Yeah, yeah, it started going off at the same time that me and her saw a white flashing light. Well, Bobby down there, the one who's just messaging, she tells me after she remote viewed that she saw a circle, she saw a white flashing light. And I'm like,
Yeah, the
whoa,
courthouse
like,
is spooky.
wow.
There's actually a really haunted theater in downtown Wilmington. Well, every time I say really haunted something in Wilmington, the whole downtown is really haunted. It's just those buildings happen to be there as well. But there's a very haunted theater, and Dalian Hall is what it's called. Dalian Hall is haunted as fuck, but they don't let anybody investigate there.
Why is that?
That theater's still open,
It's
isn't
an
it?
active theater.
Oh, it's active. Okay.
It's that smaller theater downtown, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to book it for a live podcasting location.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I could. I mean,
Awesome.
I could get us the Poplar Grove Plantation to do a live podcast. I could get. There's so many. I mean, even the Battleship.
Oh my! Oh, can you imagine doing a podcast from the Battleship?
Because I'm friends with like
That's
a quarter
awesome.
of the. I'm friends with like most of the people from Ghost Hunters on A&E.
Oh wow!
And
Okay.
so like
That's awesome.
I get connected with some of their people, and I just like, hey, I'm really interested in this location. And he's like, oh, don't worry, bro, I got you. Go make some calls. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
I'm like, yeah. But I try not to like overstep like with a lot of famous locations. I like to try to find my own. One place I'll show you guys right here. Hold on just a second. This place is freaking crazy, and I'm the first person to ever investigate it. It's just a very odd location. It's called the Poplar Grove Plantation House. It's near Opelika, Alabama. Let me see if I find it.
Bobby said, I saw that there's tunnels under the city connected to many old buildings.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
In Wilmington?
One of the tunnels is underneath where Poor Tap Room is. And there's a couple other ones underneath I think it's called the Front Street Grill or Pub or whatever it is.
In Wilmington?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Y'all are teaching me all this shit. I had no idea. I've been here. I've only been here for 2 years. Though.
I have explored the shit out of downtown Wilmington.
Yeah, that's
Please put Josh on location.
That's where I met the Anunnaki straight. No, guys, that's never happening again.
Take your phone, go outside.
Okay, here we go.
Look, I did bring this. Nice.
Here's the Poplar Grove Plantation House in Alabama. This moment legit scared me a little bit. This is where I get screamed at from inside.
I think, is it muted again? I think it's muted again. There we go.
No. Is any of the Young family here with us? Is that you? No.
Is that you?
Hey, what the fuck was that?
For some reason, I'm not getting the volume, like the
Wait,
overly loud volume
yeah.
on my end.
Oh, you know why? Because
I-
it might be because I don't have. Let me see here.
Can hear it, but it's not loud enough to hear the scream.
I feel like
Oh, because I have to share
barely-
system audio. There we go. Okay.
I feel like I
Now
barely
we're
heard
cooking with
something.
grease. Okay. Let me know if you guys can hear it now.
Oh wait, let me bring you back in. Sounds already like I'm gonna be able to hear it louder.
And where's this at?
Spring Villa Plantation House near Opelika, Alabama.
Is any of the Young family here with us?
Oh yeah, we can hear it now.
Is any of the Young family here with us? Is that you? No.
Wait, that thing that sounded like a voice?
Family here with us?
You
Yeah, I
hear
heard
that
it. It sounded like
scream
somebody
right up?
exhaling, or like a loud exhale or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's-
it was so loud it radiated through the building.
Oh, so
Wow,
that's
you-
what
you
that
heard
was. It was
you
like
heard
a.
it echoing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was almost like a very loud, like, hiss.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Whenever you have experiences like that, do you feel like an electricity in the air?
Oh, yeah. That place had
That's,
no power, and yet we were getting super high EMF levels. It was crazy.
I've spoken to a couple of people I know personally that told me every time they've had an experience,
me
the
tell
first
you,
thing
there
that
was
happened
no
was all their
cat
hair
in that-
stand up.
There was no cat in that building.
Okay.
Because my buddy got punched in the back by an unseen force in the
I
same
thought that
house.
was the person that was there with you. They're like
No.
the gasping or something. That was loud.
Yeah,
Robo-
that's
because
not that
all of
close.
us
That would be
freaked
creepy
out.
hearing.
Because my buddy's sitting on the stairs where the former homeowner of the house got murdered at.
Oh man.
Wow.
He was murdered by a former slave.
Wow.
That's what he gets.
Yeah.
Bobby
No,
was asking.
legit, the dude was a dick. Trust me.
Yep.
He was
Right.
a piece.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bobby was wondering if that could be an energy imprint.
It very well could be a residual imprint. Maybe he was screaming as he went down the stairs. He got stabbed 17 times, so I'm sure he survived through a portion of it.
Can you go over what an imprint is?
So, yeah, I was about to ask that.
So,
Like, how exactly does it work?
imprint is more like, okay, so I'm guessing she's talking about like a residual imprint on the walls. It's when you have something that's so nasty or an event that is so traumatic that it leaves imprint. Even happy moments, emotion is a very powerful force, and it can literally leave imprint on the walls.
Wow.
So it's like a frequency imprint that can be a sound as well. Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
and basically when you have like old wood over time, things get etched into it like a recorder.
Hmm.
And basically over time, those things can play back under the right conditions.
So it could even be a positive thing, like a kid waking up and seeing his Christmas present and
Oh yeah,
excitement, like initial.
and that's why when you're running recorders and you get something like that and you keep asking questions and it doesn't respond, it's most likely a residual imprint. And now if you do that and you're like, who screamed at me? And it's all, get out, or like, my name is something, then you know you have an issue.
Yeah. Okay, that's freaky shit. You ever had any experience with shadow beings?
Oh yeah, I was going to get to that one. I've had a couple of really amazing shadow experiences. Thanks for reminding me. I got a video for that right now.
So are they all evil, or are there good ones? That's something I really
I
want to
think
know.
shadows are just a void of the human. I don't think they can. I think they can be either good or bad. I think they're just. I think they're like an essence of somebody who used to be alive. Hey, you know how like we make our own shadows,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and they're
I like the
just
imprint thing that you're talking about.
yeah.
Um,
It's like that's also kind of like an imprint.
yeah, that makes me feel a little bit better. I've had one definite shadow figure experience, and I wasn't too
Freak you
happy
out.
about it, to be honest. I
Yeah.
love seeing the orbs now. I think the orbs are awesome. And it was
Here we
one
go.
day, like I was right after an orb sighting, I seen a shadow figure, and I couldn't sleep for like 2 nights. I don't like shit in my house, to be honest.
This one comes from the San Antonio Cemetery.
Possible shadow person caught on camera.
Oh no, it definitely was. So where you're gonna want to pay attention is right where that IR light hits the road. I don't know if you guys saw it at first, but it goes really
I
fast.
thought I did see it. Yeah,
It vanishes
Yeah.
as soon as the light hits
yeah.
it. But watch
It's
this.
very vaguely. Looks like I see the leg. Oh wait, yes, I do see it. Holy shit,
Yeah.
that is crazy. I saw it good that time. That is wild, man. It's like
Yeah, that one. That
yeah.
is a crazy ass capture, dude. Like I almost like threw up in excitement when I played that back for the first time. I'm like, no.
John, I got a question that just popped in my head.
Sure.
Do you know what the history is behind ghost hunting? Like, how long has this been a thing that people have been interested in?
I think well, the paranormals existed before basically us, but because you have angels and demons, which were never human and have been on. And that's my belief anyway, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people believe in that too. But angels and demons have never been human; they've been on this earth since the dawn of time, and they are constantly in a spiritual warfare, and we're just caught in the crossfire.
Mm-hmm. So even back in like
I believe,
the medieval days and stuff, you think people were still ghost hunting and
I think ghost hunting is more of a recent thing now that we have developed the technology to be able to do this kind of thing.
mm-hmm.
But people have been having experiences for millennia.
yeah, they've been doing exorcisms for like thousands of years, right?
I mean, the
Or
ancient
hundreds of years.
Egyptians. Yeah, I mean, you had Jesus Christ himself performing exorcisms.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, with the angels and demons thing, I do believe. Do you believe that angels and demons, kind of like what we are saying about the paranormal entities, that they could be like an extra dimensional type
Oh yeah,
being?
I fully believe in could extra dimensional beings be demons and angels? Can they go
Yeah,
in between different realities or dimensions? It's hard to say. What if the ghosts that we're talking to are actually us in a parallel dimension at the same location ghost hunting?
I've had
I
the
mean,
same thought before, man. I really, I'm all into the multiverse shit. I swear I've had that same thought before,
I
man.
always
Or
make
like
the argument. I'm like, what if it's just us communicating with somebody
your
else
future,
who's doing the
yeah,
same thing we're doing?
your future self or somebody. I thought before, what if it's a future version of you or
And
you from a
they're
parallel
like,
reality?
his name is, he just said his name is John. And then I'll be like, oh my God, they just said their name is Chris. And you're playing like this like spiritual cat and mouse game with your doppelganger on a different dimension.
Very well possible.
A version of you from another life.
Yeah.
And then
wild,
I'll be like, you're an asshole, and it'll be all, fuck you. And I've had those moments on recorders, like in St. Augustine at the cemetery. The spirit was going, hey, fucker, you're an asshole. And I said, no, you're an asshole. And it would say, okay, fucker, like that. And I was just like, dude, are you serious? This is not just happening right now. I was like, I bet my doppelganger is in a different dimension saying this shit to me, and I'm doing it back.
Oh, that's bizarre.
You answered my next question. I was going to ask if you've ever encountered any entities with a sense of humor, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
You already answered that.
Times. bunch of
pretty funny.
times. An abandoned hospital in Georgia that I used to investigate regularly. I would say something to let us know you're here. It's all say something.
Oh man, that's funny.
I have
Wow.
those recordings on my TikTok. They're hilarious. He's just a total smartass.
Boomer says, John, remember coast to coast EVPs.
Oh my god, dude. He reminds us at the weirdest times too, because I was on the West Coast and he was on the East Coast, and he was in New York. I was in California at the time, and I was like, I was using this new spirit communication software. I believe it was the SCD2 that Steve Huff created with I forgot the other guy's name. But we're starting to turn it on, and I'm asking questions. I said, "Can the spirits here in my house in California communicate with Boomer's spirits in his apartment in New York?" And no longer than about 5 seconds later, it says coast to coast EVPs.
Whoa, that's crazy.
And I'm just like, what? We had a podcast named Coast to Coast EVPs right after that. We're like, that name stuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was just odd.
And where did that came through on somebody's radio?
It came through on a virtual spirit box that was created. That we were testing out to see if it would work, and I was getting names of my family members, and then it started to get sinister after a while. I'm like, okay, I'm shutting this shit off.
How does that work?
You have to run it through one of those portals.
I've seen that on a TV show before.
It's like the guitar amps with the built-in pedals that get rid of the sweep and all that kind of stuff.
Huh. That sounds cool.
Hey John, do you mind if I ask you a personal question for a family member really quick?
Sure.
I recently found out I have a family member who's been having more paranormal experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a young family member of mine, only a teenager. For years now, somebody told me one major thing is that frequently right before she would walk through a doorway for like half a second, it was like the doorway was dripping water, like literally just dripping water just through the doorway only. It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it. The other thing is
that is weird.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I'll speak with Lynn Wallington about it. And the other thing is like apparitions, just like random for like a blink of an eye, said it she would see a person. And my other family member thought that she was just having imaginary friends or something when she was younger. Then one day she said something that this is what really kind of startled me, that a person was wrapped up in duct tape in my old living room in the house that I grew up in, like laying on the couch wrapped up in duct tape like a dead body or something.
Damn.
But she would tell the other family member it's only for like a blink of an eye and a person's there and then they're not there. Or she would be walking through Walmart and it's like for half a second she sees somebody walking through Walmart and it's like they're there and then they're gone. And now she's got to the point where she said she doesn't believe in God anymore, and I'm more spiritual myself than
right.
But I think it's just because she's scared of her experiences.
I think
honestly,
I think it all coincides with one another. What if all the people that have faiths in all these different religions, what if all of them are part of one real thing?
Well, I always say I don't think religion was ever supposed to divide and frighten. I believe it was supposed to unite and enlighten.
But with everything man does, we corrupt things. So
yeah, it's like governments made religion kind of into a government of its own, to where it divided people and put people in fear. But I believe it should be uniting and enlightening people, because it's all the same concept, really. I mean, I know there's different beliefs, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but we're all one. Love everybody, unconditional love. There's like
I just always say this in the paranormal: remain open-minded, because you never know what you're gonna fucking experience. I've had friends that were Christian who had never been on an investigation that I challenged their beliefs that night. And actually, no, it wasn't me that challenged their beliefs. It was the location that challenged their beliefs, and then they got mad at me.
Wow.
So I'm like, I'm telling you, be open-minded that this shit can exist, because it does. And it will make you rethink everything you know about religion.
Yeah, to have any kind of experience. Real quick about that family member. It's somebody who's having sporadic experiences like that, seeing apparitions that they can't control and they're scared of, how would you be able to help a person like that?
I would definitely tell them that they are possibly psychic mediums, and they should maybe get in touch with somebody to learn how to use their ability.
I've thought about doing something like that too, because like you were saying earlier, I have constant bizarre synchronicities like what me and you had, and dreams where random details will come true. And
Well, I'm a psychic. I'm not a medium per se, but I have psychic ability where I can hear, feel, and sometimes see spirits. Um, but most of the time it's audibly.
you think we all have untapped psychic
I think
abilities?
everybody in the world has untapped psychic abilities. Sometimes it takes
Me too.
certain events to basically open that key or open that door, and that event will be the catalyst or the key to opening up your ability.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. That's just like after I had my first orb sighting, I started having these intense synchronicities and random details from dreams coming true. And my move on investigator said the exact same thing that you did. Like people have experience, and then it's like it almost like neuroplasticity, like it just rewires
Oh
something in
yeah,
your
like
brain.
mine was my car accident in 2013. After I died and I was brought back and had my near death experience, I started feeling, hearing, seeing, and researching the unknown. Like
That's,
within weeks of that accident.
that's another synchronicity me and you got. We both almost died in a car accident. We lived in the same town, worked at the
Worked
same
the same
job.
job.
It's just so weird, man. Drove the same shitty truck.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah. God, I'm sorry, I forgot what I was about to say.
Bobby
Something got
said, yes,
sidetracked
all of
there.
us are equipped at birth. Culture and fear suppresses it.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally believe that.
Now I got to know, Josh, did you ever find anything in that truck? Like a hat or anything? Because if you got one of his hats or a shirt, dude, that's
Yeah, I got this hat I've always had.
$20 in an ashtray. You might owe John $20 if you
Yeah,
found
man.
money or something in it.
There was this really nice
Wait,
pin
they
that
allowed
you can't hold.
ashtrays in the truck? Damn.
No, they don't.
Just
No,
kidding.
my boss used to get on
Bobby
me.
used to bug the shit out of me about smoking on jobs and shit.
Who did?
Bobby, my boss.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby was a little hothead. I love that dude though.
Yeah,
Those are the
he's
ones that
funny
get the
as-
jobs
it's
done.
So I can't believe you. I know exactly who Bobby is.
Yep.
That's so funny.
Wow,
He's
man.
like the head
It's so
honcho
crazy.
there at Candy and Son. He knows the Candy family personally.
Yeah, he's actually a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
I left there on good terms. I just
Yeah.
I'm looking for a better job that pays better and not crawling under houses and pulling spider webs up my hair and shit. Which some days you just drive around, do estimates, and it's easy. Other
Yeah,
days
me,
you gotta do shit like that.
it was the constant daily battle of live capturing rattlesnakes and cottonmouths and water moccasins when they had that position open. And
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't have that position there now. They I mean they've got, unless
They must
the
have
person
got
that does
their
like
life.
raccoons and shit does that.
I don't do live raccoon. Oh no! When he had said snakes or animals, I
519,
said,
good morning, bro.
sorry, I love snakes, so
Joseph.
I'll take that
I do
job. I
too.
don't deal with trash pandas and rabies, so bye, not taking that.
Yeah, I love snakes too, man. That's another synchronicity. I grew up with snakes. My mother has always loved them. She's terrified of spiders, but growing up, I had a ball python, a boa, and 2 king snakes. I've always loved snakes.
Dude, I used to give half of my copperheads and shit to Dean Rip at the Serpentarium in Wilmington, and then he would just let me have access to like some of the most venomous snakes at times, and like the taipans and shit from Australia, and like he would teach you how to like properly capture them and stuff during our training. It was wild, bro. It's so
Wow.
sad that dude got shot in the head. Okay, so to put it in perspective, this guy survives the worst snake bites from the worst snakes on the planet. 8 times he got bitten by a bushmaster and almost died. Like
Real quick, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Real quick, Bobby, if you're in the chat, is that the same person that you were telling me about? I'm sorry, you can keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I
And
think Bobby.
it turns out the real snake was his wife. She shot him in the head in the apartment above the sanitarium.
I heard
Whoa.
this story from somebody. I want to say it might have been Bobby that told me this story. I've heard exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
I thought she
crazy.
told us this. I
I
thought she
had
told us this
just
story in the
hung
podcast,
out.
Dad.
I had just spent time with Dean Ripa the day before he died.
Hey, AP.
So yeah, maybe you know Bobby. I don't know. It's
Maybe.
pretty bizarre. Yeah.
Her
She's
name's
still in
Bobby
the
Stout.
chat?
Yeah, she's still in here.
Bobby, is that the story that you told me about the guy who handled all the snakes getting killed?
Dude,
Somebody
okay,
just told me
it's
that
crazy
story not
because
too
the
long ago.
Bushmaster has an 80% death rate even with anti-venom. And this guy survives it 8 times to only get shot in the head by his wife.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Oh, he was not meant to
Yeah.
hang around too long.
Yeah, Bobby knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I figured that was her. I think she told me and you, Sony, Chad, Sony, like all of us on your podcast. The first time she came on, she was talking about what he's saying right now. I know I've heard that story before, but
Yeah,
I'm
karma
sorry.
maybe, huh? Karma's a real thing, you know?
Something,
Karma's
yeah.
a bitch sometimes.
Yeah, she
I
ended
think-
up getting, I believe, life in prison.
Wow.
Hold on, I'm
So have you
gonna
ever had-
just mute my computer screen real quick. I'm gonna step outside to smoke a cigarette real quick.
No problem, man.
Man, I'm trying to wing down, man. I've been using this vape.
Dude, I saw a vape the other day that the entire thing, it almost looked like it was clear PVC, and the whole inside of it was like a square piece. The whole inside of it was LED lights, and the whole time you're inhaling it, the whole thing's changing colors. Like,
Yeah,
man,
I've seen one
vapes are getting insane nowadays.
Somebody just spent a lot of money on that thing. Yes.
Yeah.
God, I had a
Then Lizzie
question I
says
wanted to ask John. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
still here.
She was
I'm
talking about how
still-
the Stanley
okay.
Hotel is an hour away from her.
Which place?
The Stanley Hotel.
Oh, in Estes Park in Colorado. I want
wanna-
to go there so bad.
I want to go there too. That'd be cool.
Like, I have plans of checking out Utah here in the near future. And
Chad, I'll be
Go
right back.
Skinwalker.
All right, no problem.
my
Sonny.
goal is to do at least one investigation in every 50 states.
You're gonna try to get the Skinwalker, man?
Skinwalker Ranch is completely off bounds.
Yeah, I know. I was just playing around, but I mean,
If I had the
you could sneak
opportunity-
in.
Absolutely.
People do sneak in there, though, don't they?
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah, that's,
I was
That's
in
crazy
a place in New Mexico, and I'll tell you what, that place had some. I've experienced like cryptids in an abandoned pet cemetery in Nevada. This place was crazy. It's on my channel. You guys can check it out. It's a live stream from an abandoned pet cemetery that was also used as a mobster burial ground. And dude, that
Jeez.
place is evil.
A mobster burial ground? That's got to be creepy.
Pet cemetery and Native American burial ground. It's outside of Las Vegas.
Huh. Everyone left me. Hey, what's up, Josh?
Yeah, it's I've
It
been to
would
some
be
weird places,
like
man.
that.
Paranormal has taken me to some strange places.
Bobby says the Northern California old mining towns and cemeteries are really cool. Man, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be so cool.
There's an abandoned mining town in Central California. This cemetery is so damn evil, it's not even funny. Like it fucks me up every time I walk in there. Like, it just knows me. It knows to take what's important to me, like my keys,
Mhm.
or cause my car not to be able to start, or do weird shit to my electronics. I've had equipment straight fry in there like multiple times.
Wow.
And it's called
That sounds
Adelaide
kinda like Skinwalker.
Cemetery. And it's 20 minutes outside of the middle of nowhere. In Central California, outside of San Luis Obispo. Oh, it's outside of Paso Robles, in Templeton, if anybody's familiar with that area. And, dude, there's no electricity out there, but yet it has some of the highest EMF levels I've ever registered on devices.
Oh, that's crazy.
The whole town killed themselves when the mercury got into the water supply.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was an old mercury mining town, and people went crazy, including the school teacher who hung herself in the school.
Oh my god.
Yeah, bro. And some weird
So
reason, the whole town, the county of San Luis Obispo, is trying to make it sure that town does not exist even in the news anymore because,
Holy.
they just want to erase that town off record.
So it's completely abandoned?
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Well, their
That's
cemetery is completely abandoned. The only other building that's not one of the wineries is the abandoned schoolhouse where the teacher hung herself.
Wow.
Oh, Bobby lived in Slow for years. That's so fucking weird.
what? Bobby in the chat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bobby. Yeah, it's weird. She lived in Slow and Wilmington. That's
Yeah.
so strange. They're like two opposite ends of the spectrum country.
Like synchronicity's going more than one way now, man. It's crazy, man. I think you're a magnet for synchronicity too, man.
Yeah.
And you're getting around other people that are really synchronistic, and it's just intensifying the shit, you know.
I
Have you ever had any?
I connect with some really interesting people.
Did you see
Yeah, I've
Enzo's
met-
question here? Have you had a hitchhiker effect?
Oh, like something being brought home with me? Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Really?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What do you-
I ended up getting a demonic attachment from a private home investigation in California, actually near Santa Maria.
Oh man.
And
Wow.
the house was run by the cartel, and the people were practicing dark witchcraft in the location. And we were finding like satanic rituals, and we watched the homeowner get possessed multiple times and had to turn it over to the Catholic Church.
Really? It's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
too bizarre, too much to handle.
We stayed in there for like 4 nights in a row trying
Oh,
to
wow.
help the family, and
Just
basically,
wasn't.
I ended up getting so frustrated with the entity that I was like, if you're going to do something, do it to me. That's all I needed to say. And I ended up getting oppressed for about 6 months.
Wow.
It almost killed my dog.
Jeez.
Oh, what?
But I was waking up with like bloody scratch marks across my arm, like deep 3 scratch marks to the point where my pillow was soaked in blood. Yeah, it was
Man.
nuts.
That's yeah, fuck that. Sorry. Wow. Have you ever had any UFO sightings?
Wilmington, North Carolina, right over the Cape Fear River.
Really? That's where I had mine. My very first one, man.
Dude, if
Synchronicity,
Josh
man.
wasn't in here and you said that, I would have been like, we're gonna have to get Josh a week.
It started out as 3 lights over the Cape Fear, and I thought it was
like
a
Chris
plane,
Bledsoe.
and it
Sorry.
looked like a triangle. And so we were like, okay, maybe that's just an airplane. And then the 2 outer ones go like that. And then the other one kind of hovers in the air and shoots straight up in the atmosphere at an unhuman rate.
That's incredible, man.
Freaking
So
weird.
Chris Bledsoe's a good friend of mine. He's pretty well known in the UFO community. He had his first experience at the Cape River. He actually had 4 hours missing time, was abducted. He had Crohn's disease before his abduction. Afterwards,
Wow.
Crohn's disease is gone, and there's no cure for that disease. He had his first experience at the Cape River. Just like you said, there's 3 lights, and like 6 people saw this all together. More witnesses came forward later.
Yeah, I had my whole apartment complex witness, all my roommates witness it with me. We were sitting on the back porch watching this thing happen. We're all like, "What are we doing?"
Wow.
That's
And
crazy.
so were they like orbs, like balls of light?
Yeah, they were just like a ball of light. Started out like a triangular ship, and then it
So crazy,
separated.
man. And I have a video that I recorded at Chris Bledsoe's house. Sonny and Chad have seen this, where there's 2 balls of light, 2 orbs that materialize and are sitting still. Another one comes from the left. It flares, almost like sparks come off it. It keeps going, and it comes to a dead stop right above the 2 other orbs. Makes a perfect triangle.
Damn.
It's just, I mean, like what you're saying, man. It's almost makes me think. I wonder if we saw the same entity, man. I have no idea. You know.
Yeah,
It's
that's
pretty
weird. I had a
pretty
really crazy experience one night in Central California driving home in San Luis Obispo where I worked. And I saw this, what I thought was a meteor, big ball of light. I mean, it lit up the freaking highway, right near where I got in that car accident. Actually, I'll tell you guys another story too about my experiences with that app, Random Nautica. I hate that app. I will not use it. App freaks me the shit out.
I
But
just tried it a couple weeks ago for the first time.
and I was driving, and all of a sudden this giant ball of light falls out of the sky. Thought it was a meteor. Right as it gets to the tip of the mountains, it goes like this. And
I believe it,
everybody
man.
on
Yeah.
the highway is looking at it, and almost caused like a major pileup.
Damn.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them imitate or look just like a shooting star, but whenever shooting stars go a weird direction and like a weird curve, or it's exactly where you're looking, I think they imitate things sometimes. These orbs. That's
Ranonautica
fascinating.
took me exactly to the spot where I had my near-death experience.
That's
That
insane. Okay, I use Randonautica once.
to the foot away, like a foot away from it. Like, because to this day, there's still a dent in the
Wow.
guardrail from where I hit.
That's insane, man. I tried app once just a few weeks ago and took me some weird spot in the woods, and there's a
Oh my
fucking
God, Bobby! I was
porcelain
in
doll.
Los
So
Osos, and okay, because Los Osos is where I used to live in Slow County. Saw so many things when I would drive into Slow. The weird thing about Los Osos, California, and Morro Bay area in California is that whole town sits on 8 Indian burial grounds.
oh well.
8, and I mapped them all. And,
That's awesome.
And dude, there is some weird. My house, they actually how they found 2 of them was digging up the sewer plant to put in the sewer plant in Los Osos.
Wow.
And they ended up unearthing a bunch of bones, and they discarded them illegally.
Yeah.
And that town is plagued with so much bad luck. Like, that town can't grow. It's been the same amount of people there and the same houses there since the 80s.
Oh, like they're stuck in time.
Yeah.
Real quick, dope knows. I completely believe that what you're saying right there. The more you pay attention to them, the more you see them. Like 100%. That's how it worked with me. I started noticing. I told Chad this too, and Chris Bledsoe told me himself. He said, the more you look for them, the more you'll see them. And just like you said, I think we all have synchronicities. The way I look at it, I feel like it's God or the universe, whatever you want to say, kind of winking at you to take you in the right direction. Or in the wrong direction if you're.
Yeah, because when I moved into my house in Los Osos, when I got married, and when I was in my early 20s, when we were unpacking, the landlord asked us to take a bunch of photos of the house. We caught what looked like a little Native American girl shadow figure that had like this glowing red mist around her in the garage.
Wow.
We didn't know at the time that our house sat right on top of site number 4.
Wow.
I want to get to this question because it was like a while ago, but Dope Nose says, do y'all believe in synchronicities are always abound and we just don't notice, or once you're made aware of them, they uptick drastically?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was just responding to a second ago, Chad.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, when you pay attention to them, they make themselves very known.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I feel like I don't know how to explain it. It's the universe, I guess, just bending in your way. It's like I feel like your life is a reflection of who you are and what you do. And you can have bad synchronicities and you can have good synchronicities. And the more you do things, you think about law of attraction or whatever, but it's cause and effect and like butterfly effect, all that shit together,
Mm-hmm.
Like me and my buddy Gary, who's on my paranormal team, and Dylan, it's just 3 of us usually, and me and Gary in particular have been to almost all the same locations in the United States at one time or another, and we never had met until 3 years ago.
Really? Wow.
That's awesome.
That's pretty crazy.
Actually, none of us have, like, we were just talking about that for New Year's, that a year ago, none of us in this community knew each other. Like, I didn't know Sonny, I didn't know Josh, I didn't know Cassie, like, nobody in the chat, I didn't know anybody in the chat. It's like,
now we got a new family, man.
Yeah,
we're not orphans anymore, man.
Yeah, it's like within a year, we're not orphans anymore.
It's funny. Yeah, I feel like everybody in this community is like my second family, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't
It
know.
feels
Some select members of my family know what I'm going through. Only a few of them vaguely know. Everybody else has no idea, but I don't care if
yeah.
they
I'm not
find out.
even
But I come here to talk about stuff like this, and I
yeah.
don't
I'm
have to
not
worry
even
about
sure how
getting
many people
judged.
in my family know that I have a podcast. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, because
Yeah.
I had this isn't my original YouTube channel name. I started my YouTube channel as HSFL Paranormal, which stood for Helping Spirits Find Light.
That's
And
cool.
that's how I started. But then I took a break from really posting stuff for a couple years, about a year. And then I ended up starting up on TikTok and blew up out of nowhere. And I ended up hitting like 75,000 followers on TikTok just for posting my short clips of all the places that I went to. And then I changed my name to Jon the Paranormal Guy.
I like the name.
Chad, Sonny, he's giving us some advice, man. We got to hit up TikTok. That's where it's at, man.
Like
I
the
know. I'm
live
trying to figure it out.
investigations on TikTok are crazy. Like, I did
The what?
I do a lot of like live paranormal investigations on TikTok. That's usually where I go live. Um, and dude, like the TikTok lives just get crazy, bro.
You might have been offended if you saw me on New Year's. I did a lot of.
You were awesome, Josh.
Um,
You gotta stop
I,
apologizing. We all
yeah,
loved it.
oh man, I'm embarrassed. I don't even want to watch it to be honest. But no, I was just joking around,
Family's not supposed to be embarrassed.
I was buzzing really hard, and I did my own little live investigation or whatever, just walking around here. And enough of
man.
that. Sorry, this is your podcast.
Connor says you better follow me on TikTok.
Bigfoot, what's up, Bigfoot? Man, I had a weird
Yo, John,
synchronicity
follow me
with
on
him.
TikTok. Hey, is it under Bigfoot Anon?
I think it is actually, yeah.
Hell yeah, I'll
Then you
definitely make sure to follow that.
Bigfoot Anna.
Bigfoot Anna.
Yeah, he's awesome. The guy's got some energy, man. His energy's contagious too. Very.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you forgot to get your coffee for the morning, no worries.
I love it, man. Yeah, definitely.
He's awesome.
I'll say one thing real quick, and then John, this is his podcast. Bigfoot on Connor. I don't know if anybody saw us in chat yesterday. He said something about woolly mammoths yesterday when he's talking to Dave Scott on Spaced Out Radio. Said something about woolly mammoths. Was so fucking weird. Right before Spaced Out Radio came on, I was watching something on the news about how they're supposed to be resurrecting the woolly mammoths.
I saw you post that on Facebook.
I knew. I mean, I never.
Did we
never
not learn
researched that before.
anything from Jurassic Park?
Right. They're talking about this can help the environment. They're really talking about like this can help cool the planet or something because they trample the ice or some
I'm
crazy
gonna be
shit
the
like
first
that.
guy in the world to get a hunting tag for one of those.
I was gonna say.
I want to taste some mammoth.
I'm gonna have his head back there next to that.
Sonny, where'd you get that woolly mammoth there? That's pretty rare, I thought.
Isn't that crazy? They're really doing it. They're bringing.
Shoot him.
They're bringing back the woolly mammoth, or they're making a hybrid or whatever. They're putting the genes into the elephant, and they said it's happening. They said by 2026 we're going to have woolly mammoths back alive. I mean, how bizarre is that, man?
They're probably forecasting that we're going to be back in an ice age in 2026, and they're just not telling us.
Right. Oops.
They're saying that it's supposed to help with global warming. Like the mammoths literally, because I guess they're going in Siberia or something, and the permafrost, they stomp it down. They want to get like over 60,000 of these fucking woolly mammoths up there, and like to help trample the trees and stomp the ground and stuff, and it'll help the sun reflect off the ice and keep things cool or something like that. But it's something to do with global warming. They said they really believe that bringing back the mammoths will help with it. I posted something on my group page about it yesterday, but it's just so bizarre that I never heard anything about that. And yesterday I see that on news. Then we get on Spaced Out Radio and Connor brings that up to Dave Scott. It's just no one of synchronicities. Sorry, John, this is your podcast, man. I don't mean to run along, man. My ADHD takes over.
They're like, how can we get the people behind it? Tell them it'll help with global warming. Oh yeah, that'll work.
Some of you guys will, I'm sure since you live in Wilmington, you'll recognize this place real quick. Let's see here.
Are you familiar with Grace Creek? Grace Creek, over there by Fayetteville, Hope Mills.
Oh yeah, I love Hope Mills area. My buddy
That's where I
lives
was
out
born.
there.
Or, I was born in Hope Mills. Or I was born in Fayetteville, but I lived
Do
in
you
Hope
know a
Mills
dude
almost my
named
entire life.
Chris too?
Chris two?
Yeah.
No, I know a Rodney two and a Brittany two. Maybe
Hmm.
related. I don't know anybody else with the last name
Because
of two. I think
my
they're
buddy went to
siblings.
school with J. Cole.
My sister went to school with J. Cole.
So
Actually, I was in Douglasburg Middle School. I was in Douglasburg Middle School while J. Cole was in Douglasburg High
and you
School.
know
You know
what's
they're
weird
attached.
too? Another synchronicity is my family dates back to the Hatfields, and his family's the McCoy family.
Oh.
And I said, no wonder
Wow.
why I hate your ass.
That is
That's
crazy.
awesome.
My sister had a homeroom class with J. Cole. I was just telling my roommate about that yesterday. I swear to God. But
Here's
you know how
the
Douglasburg Middle School and Douglasburg High School are attached. Like I was in the school next to him while he was going there.
this is gonna be the Poplar Grove plantation. This place was really, really interesting. This house right here is actually on the outside of the property, and there was a double homicide that happened in this house right here on the back.
Wow.
And 8 of the kids who lived in the house originally died of disease. So the place is quite active. This is my own photography that I put into this video, and it's a unique location for sure.
Everything's still
Everything's
period.
still very period time. That's actually the office for the historical
You
society.
get to see some really cool places, man. This is sweet.
That place is a lot of steps.
Have you been to Michigan to do this kind of stuff?
I actually have never been to the north of really Kansas and Virginia. It's about as far north as I've ever been. I stay kind of to the south because I'm not a snowbird. I don't deal with the cold. Even though I remember in 2018 it snowed like hell in Wilmington. We ended up getting a foot on the beach, and when it was only forecasted to be like 1 or 2 inches, and
18 was crazy for snow. I remember that year.
Yeah. Well, you've been in a bad accident. You like me, cold and accidents. If you have any kind of arthritis or metal in your body, it fucking sucks. Yeah. So yeah, I understand that completely. I hate the cold. I used to love the cold. Now,
like
nope.
on New Year's this year, I was investigating an abandoned, newly abandoned hospital. I'll try to get some photos going here. Let's see. I think they're on my Twitter. But yeah, we're now like basically the caretakers of this property, which is really, really cool. The guy was like, I really don't want to have anything to do with it. This place is evil. You guys can do what you want. If you want to run paranormal tours, feel free. And yeah, he wants nothing to do with the inside of this place.
Hey, John, are you familiar with the female serial killer that was in Fayetteville?
No. All I remember is Eileen Warnos as far as female serial killers.
Was she buried in? Does she have a grave in Fayetteville?
No, she was
Highway
from
87?
somewhere else. But I know
Okay.
that there was a serial killer in Wilmington who used to hang over and dump his victims in Greenfield Lake.
That's
like
I go to Greenfield Lake. I go to Greenfield Lake all the time, man.
Hell yeah!
Wow.
He loves being on camera.
They found a dead body
There's
at
some
Greenfield
stories
Lake last
about
year.
Greenfield that
Yeah,
would turn you inside out if I told you about what happens at Greenfield Lake.
Wow, they found a dead body there last year. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a serial killer dumping his victims all over Wilmington.
Wow.
So I gotta kind of go here real quick. So here we are. All right, I'm just gonna share my screen, and it's just my computer's cluttered with shit. So, all these videos and photography and everything like that. So this is going to be the inside of the hospital here. It's completely abandoned, has no power. When we were in there, it was about 8 degrees, so we're basically wearing snowboarding clothes while investigating it.
8 degrees?
Yeah, it was freezing.
Jeez.
But
That's
we
dedicated.
got some wild activity. Let's see. Why isn't this popping up?
Enzo, that's a cool fact right there. When I tell people that iron in their blood and their red blood cells came from an exploded star billions of years ago, they flip out. That's pretty cool.
And we're all made of photons, man. It's all
Yep.
light.
Cosmic
Here we go.
dust.
That's the hospital right there.
Ooh.
Yeah, a place is a trip. A place definitely had some negative energy.
That looks spooky.
Yeah,
from
I'd
the
show up and
outside.
go, you guys can go
Yeah,
in.
it does.
I ended up going, like, the Ovulus kept saying, don't go, and then basement. And I'm
the
like,
back-
okay, I'll go.
The back where you showed that
You
picture
said
right
Ovilus?
now.
The which one?
No, where you showed that picture right now, the back of that hospital.
Yeah.
I know from working at a hospital that's where they would go pick up the bodies.
Yeah.
When people would pass away. That always freaks me out when I see that loading bay at a hospital. I know what it is. And
I ended up by accidentally finding the morgue, not looking for it. I was just, all of a sudden, the Ovulus goes, don't go. Basement. And I'm like, okay, I'll go to the basement. I said, hey guys, I'll meet you guys up on the psychiatric ward on the 3rd floor. And then over my intercom, because I had all of our systems like connected through like a tactical vest, and I had a earpiece running through my ear, and all of a sudden through my earpiece it goes, "What?"
That's
it
crazy.
was not
Dude,
my
that sounded
friends.
creepy with you just saying that. Dude, that sounded creepy. Sorry, man.
Because I started having a ton of failures with my walkie, and it actually fried 2 of our walkie-talkies on that investigation. And when I was investigating it, I kept hearing channel 16, channel 16. Like somebody's trying to page me, but my friends were not doing it. They were on the psychiatric floor, and they couldn't hear me for over 25 minutes. And so I'm paging, flipping out. I'm like, you guys are pulling a prank on me, you motherfuckers. I'm going to get you back. I'm going to seriously get you back. No, they were like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't even have comms working up here. So, and then all of a sudden I'm like going to the basement. The Ovulus is going off. It keeps saying, don't go basement. So I went into the basement, found the morgue just underneath the boiler room. And I crawled down there, and I'm like losing my shit, and I'm hearing like disembodied voices going behind you, seeing shadows, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm going up to the psychiatric floor, and I just hear, what? I think what it was, I was making a joke to my buddy. It was my guardian angel having a panic attack.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you normally keep like somebody with you whenever you're doing investigation? Because I mean, I feel like
yeah, so
I don't know, being alone might not be the best thing to do. You know.
I do, like, we had 3 of us in the building, but I went down for my own solo session. Like, I do a lot of solo investigations too. And like,
you don't
our
feel like
team,
that might be a bad idea?
Oh yeah, it is definitely a bad idea. But our team likes to push each other to the limits. I have never heard of the Lakeshore Hospital in Knoxville.
I'd
love to check that
haunted.
out. Oh, you have me at super haunted and abandoned hospital.
Lakeshore. To remember that one.
I remember as a kid we used to break in all the time into this abandoned.
Oh, it's because his mic is by his face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you blew into the mic, it sounded like a nuclear holocaust was happening.
I thought Entity was yelling at us, man. I was about ready to get
jumped out of the chair for a minute.
I think I peed a little bit, man.
I remember when we were kids there in San Luis Obispo, there used to be this abandoned child psychiatric ward that we used to try to get into all the time. Man, that place was creepy.
Boomer said, rule number 1, never investigate alone.
Well, there was this house in North Carolina that I had in Southport, and the family was being terrorized by spirits. And my team was out of town for like 2 weeks. And so I had no choice but to go in there by myself because no other team wanted to deal with this house. And so I'm like, all right, I'll just go in solo. No, dude.
So
There was
nobody
there
want
was
to go in with you?
no. There was
Sorry.
many nights where I had to sleep with the lights on, dude. Otherwise, I would get attacked in that house.
Oh, I might have had to fire my partner, man. Like, somebody's got to have my six, especially in a. God, I'm sorry, that was so cheesy. That was cheesy and horrible. But no,
I
really,
couldn't
in a
fire him
situation
because
like that,
he had his family and they were going to Disneyland, and so I was like, yeah, I think I could handle it. It's not too bad. I bit my words real quick.
The
do you
Madonna
normally have a
Inn.
partner
The
with you
Madonna
there
Inn.
anytime?
Oh my god, that place is creepy too.
Is
I've
that
heard
the
of that.
one? Is that the one in the Madonna Inn? We have a Madonna Inn here.
In San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, yeah.
There.
I've been
I'll
there.
tell you what. There, Bakersfield. Oh my god, I have like 8 locations in Bakersfield that are just unbelievably haunted. The Padre
Yeah.
Hotel is unmistakably active. That place I have been to at least 6 times. They used to actually be like, "Oh, hi, John. See you made a reservation. You want room 711, right? Because that's the most haunted room." And they're like, "We'll have somebody come up and help you with all of your gear. Welcome back to the Padre," because they knew I was coming there to investigate, and they appreciated me doing investigations in that location. Every single staff member in that building has had a wild experience. And then there's this house called the Green Hotel. It's in Shafter, California, and that place is super crazy haunted. That house is, oh man, that's a lights sleep with the lights on kind of place.
Yeah. All the stuff that you're describing, I'd have to have the lights on all the time. You'd be like, no, shut the lights off. We want to see the... Nope. I'd be in there with the brightest flashlights.
The Madonna Inn he's talking about, guys. It's in a mountain.
Ooh.
Built into a mountain. So like some of the rooms are actually built into the mountain. Like and
No
they're
way.
so nice.
Yeah, it's actually built into
coolest
the
thing-
ancient volcano system.
One of the coolest things is in the men's bathroom at the Madonna Inn. You know what I'm talking about, John? You walk up to the waterfall. There's a waterfall in the men's bathroom. I sure hope this is the urinal because I've been pissing in it for like 20 years now. But no, really, you walk up to this big, huge rock waterfall, and then it just turns on, and that is the urinal. It's like it's awesome.
Then every room is different in the Madonna Inn. Every room has its own theme and color. It's just weird. Like one night I'm in a blue room, and then the next night I'm in a pink room with all this girly stuff, and I'm like, why did you guys change my room to this?
I like the cave, the dungeon one, the one that's in the mountain, the cave one. That's a good one.
There's actually a winery that's built into a cave in Paso Robles, which is really cool.
Yeah, I've done the wine tasting there a few times, up and down that.
I think it's called Admiral Winery or something like that. The Jungle Room, yeah, that's pretty cool too.
Oh, the Jungle Room is a good one.
Yeah,
they got vines you can swing on in there.
Yeah, it's totally reminds me of like this. This was built for swingers or something like that.
I always imagined that's what it looked like inside the Playboy Mansion. All the rooms, like that. Yeah, and it's not cheap, guys. They are not as scared to charge you for those rooms. It's
the Madonna Inn.
Yes, some of them are like close to
800 a night.
Yeah, 700 a night. Yeah,
they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
The other really haunted hotel in Santa Barbara County is the Santa Maria Inn, which is crazy haunted. A lot of famous stars used to be there. And the one that I always get that's super crazy haunted is the
I've heard about that.
Rudolph Valentino room 101. And that place is crazy.
Where can people go to find the stuff where do you post most? Like on TikTok or most on YouTube?
My stuff's scattered all across social media. I'm very ADHD, so that shit's everywhere.
All right.
It's on some of it's on Facebook, some of it's on YouTube. A lot of the locations are on TikTok.
Okay.
But TikTok is where I probably got the most amount of videos.
Okay. Yeah, I need to put your TikTok in the description because right now it's just your YouTube is down there.
But there's
So, John, mind if I ask
a
you
lot.
a quick little personal question? Sorry.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Have you ever heard of because I didn't even know it was a thing until I researched it. Chad and Sonny know about it, like black-eyed children. Like, I mean, for me, it's just been in dreams, like solid black, or not always children, sometimes adults, but solid black-eyed people in dreams. And I researched last night. Apparently, some people see them in real life. But Chad, I've talked to you about
Well,
this. I
there's such
didn't tell
thing as like
anybody else.
there's
Oops. Sorry.
supposedly myths of like black-eyed children and stuff like that. I've never seen a black-eyed creature before. Personally, I'd be probably pretty freaked out and shocked if I did. But I've had some
I haven't.
weird experiences practicing astral projection.
I was just about to ask you about astral projection too. Yeah, that's crazy. I was gonna say I've seen like 5 different dreams now. A person, usually 4 out of the 5, it was somebody I knew, but it's like it wasn't them. They have no emotion whatsoever. They're dead still, and they just have solid black eyes, and it's like they're just staring straight at me so hard, and it's this creepy, like reoccurring theme that I've had in my dreams before. And just had one like a few days ago, actually.
Sutter's
I
Fort.
don't know.
No, I don't think I've been to that one.
You mind talking about the astral projection a little bit, man? Because I'm really curious about that.
Some freaky moments doing astral, and like I remember one time in specific, it was like one of the first times I ever did it on purpose, doing an astral guided meditation, and I ended up drifting off into this like weird realm, and all I saw was like kind of how space was, but it had a golden arch. And my curiosity, I'm like the person that's like curiosity killed the cat. And so I'm like, okay, I see this golden archway, I'm gonna go towards it.
We chase ghosts and tornadoes.
Right. And so I get close to this archway, and I'm greeted by 2 shadow figures in the archway, and I see them like trying to beckon me in. So I get closer and closer to the archway, and the more I get closer, the more I see of these shadow people, and there was like hundreds of them, if not over 1,000. It was just a weird experience. I had to force myself to snap out of it, and I had like panic attacks.
We had Preston Dennett on here. I'm not sure if you are aware of him. He talked about astral projection a little bit, and I've been kind of researching it. I don't know, it's just another one of those things. Like, so many doors opened up to possibilities to me last year. But so you said you actually did a guided meditation, right?
Yeah, right off of YouTube here.
Did you use like binaural beats or something? What exactly did you use?
No, there's actually a specific astral guided meditation on YouTube, and it gets funky, dude. Like if you actually like start succeeding at learning how to do it, your body goes into this weird vibrational stage, and it freaked me out on a lot of different levels.
Shadows of the Moon just said, I just talked about BEK and Hoodie wearing dark figures yesterday and how they have the same feel people get around aliens, so I'm starting to believe they're aliens also.
BEK, well, Black-Eyed Kids, is that what it is?
Yeah, because
it's creepy. It's not always kids.
Boomer said that he thinks they're aliens.
Times in my dream.
Yeah, he said the Black-Eyed people are aliens.
Man.
They're either aliens or they're some kind of like a multi-dimensional creature.
I could believe that they're aliens because every time someone sees a gray. Go ahead, Josh.
I spoke to somebody last night, and they were I had this dream where I saw my grandfather, but it was a positive dream. It changed my life. But at the very beginning of the dream, I woke up where I was laying down, like you were saying with the astral projection thing. My whole body was just out of whack. Felt like it was vibrating, but it's too intense, and I had vertigo, and I was falling everywhere. But as soon as I woke up and I was making my way back to my bedroom, I saw somebody that looked like it should have been a friend, but they had solid black eyes, and they're just staring so hard at me, like straight into my eyes, with no emotion, like they're just observing me. And somebody told me yesterday that maybe that was some kind of entity, and you were like, whenever you had the vertigo, you were in the in-between stage until you got back to where your grandfather was,
Mhm.
and the vertigo
Believe it or
stopped.
not, I
I
get
don't know,
that
I'm just going on that
vertigo
day.
feeling a lot at, especially with like really dark locations, which seems to be like the go-to right now because every location we have right now has got some really negative shit. Excuse me. But yeah, it seems to be like every time I go into those locations, I get this really bad effect where I feel like I'm separating from my body and I end up getting like complete vertigo. It's a weird experience for sure.
Bobby says the little grays I've seen look like they're wearing
Frequencies
hoodies,
is off.
sometimes monk robes.
Huh.
Shadows of the Moon
I've
said
heard somebody
true.
say it too.
I've even had where I've had premonitions before certain investigations. Which like I've had a St. Augustine Lighthouse, for example. The night before the investigation at the St. Augustine Lighthouse, I had a dream, well, what I thought was a dream of me collapsing inside of the basement of the innkeeper's house. Well, I didn't know that it was the innkeeper's house. I thought it was a basement of the actual lighthouse. I had a full viewing of what that place looked like before I even went in. Same thing happened to me at the David Oman house in Los Angeles. His house is 40 yards away from where Sharon Tate was murdered by the Manson family.
Jeez.
And I had a premonition of collapsing on the lower floor of his house, and I had never even seen it on TV. I had never even seen it with my own eyes before, but I had it happen. In both instances, I did collapse at the location.
Wow.
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah, that is.
Bim Jim. Bim Jim's had a lot of experiences too, man.
Have you God, sorry. Any experiences with like any healing, like miraculous healing with you or anybody that you know? Just curious. I heard you speak of like angels and demons earlier. I know Chris Bledsoe, he was, but also I found out my roommate told me the other night that when he was like 13, he fucked up his back really bad skateboarding. It's fucked up for like 6 months, and his grandmother put her hands on it and prayed, started speaking in tongue, and he said his back heated up and it was instantly healed. Like after 6 months of it being just totally fucked up. And his grandmother said she doesn't think she's a healer. She just thinks she's used like a conduit, pretty much, like whatever.
My version of healing is
higher power.
if it's not a major bone like a finger or something, I just grab two popsicle sticks and tape that shit together until it heals.
Yeah,
Rub
it's a
some
good way to do it.
dirt on
And
it.
two of my fingers
Yeah,
are
I'm
almost
pretty
like
much the
to
same
the
way.
point where I can barely bend them because they didn't grow incorrectly.
Maybe
That's
that's
another
not the way to do
synchronicity
it.
we got, man.
Yeah.
My thumb was about cut off in a car accident, and 7 months ago, I about cut off my index finger with a steak knife on accident. Like you said, I just wanted to wrap it up and act like it was no big deal. And my ex-girlfriend looked and saw the bone and was like, "Nope, we're going to the hospital." But yeah, I got that in common with you too, man. Can't bend that
Yep.
finger down. And I can't straighten out my thumb. You said 2 fingers too?
Yeah, both of them are gonna be the fingers right here. But I've broken all of my fingers just about in between like snowboarding and mountain biking and all the other crazy, stupid, extreme sports I've done. Hey, Eli, how's it going, buddy?
Eli, how's it
John,
going?
I was gonna say, man, John, if you're cool with it, man, I'm gonna be starting up my channel here soon. I'd love to have you on, man.
Good to see you.
Hell yeah,
Might
I'd
have some
definitely
more
be down.
crazy synchronicities, man. And I'll probably have chatters.
I can't wait to watch that one.
First, he just comes in here and takes over. Now he's guest poaching.
I'm telling you, I can't wait to watch that podcast. Oh wait, I just did.
No, we're connected, man. We're family, man. Y'all are
I'm
gonna be
messing
on
with
there
you,
with me. Y'all are probably gonna be on there with me, man. Or at least
It'll
one
look
of y'all.
exactly like this, so everybody tune in. No,
Actually, I'm
me
gonna
and
like
Sonny will
give
be on
y'all the
Josh's
wrong.
show.
I'm gonna give y'all the wrong date, and Spooky and Bobby are gonna be up here instead. Whoops. I'm sorry. No, I'm playing.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right.
Uh-oh, dogs are going crazy.
Like I had to move all of my equipment into storage because like after a bad investigation like we were on, I don't keep my shit in the house because weird shit happens. So at first I had it in the closet and I started having all this weird like poltergeist activity in my house. So I had to end up moving it into my little storage unit in the backyard because I just was like, no, I'm not putting my family through this shit.
What's the scariest poltergeist activity that you've been through?
Good question.
Probably the Demon Theater. Between having a tennis ball thrown at us from 150 feet away, to a JBL speaker thrown at me, and then the sound of where it sounded like the roof collapsed, but the roof didn't collapse.
Wow. What would you say would be the most positive experience maybe that you've had?
As far as positive experience, crossing over spirit at a Native American burial ground.
Oh, talk about that. I would love to hear that.
So we were at a place in rural New Mexico called Werewolf Hill, and no, no ties to actual real werewolves, but just a name. Some other people had called it Hamburger Hill, and we were up there, and we were being surrounded by drum beats as we had the SB7 on, and it said Jon is the person to help cross over the spirit box. And so basically, I just held my hand and prayed with that spirit, and all of our equipment stopped going off.
Wow.
It was
That's
just
awesome,
a
dude.
weird experience.
So why do you think spirits get stuck here on this realm, or like in the in between stage? Do you think it's because like some kind of karmic debt, or do they have something they're supposed to be filling, or
I
is
think
it some?
because I think the chief of that tribe in that area who had passed wanted to help some of the spirits in his group cross over because the
Um,
area was like infamously known for having skinwalkers and stuff too.
okay, well,
It was
um, I was gonna say, I thought there was a place in New Mexico like that where they see a lot of like Sasquatch sightings and shit out there too, don't they? Is that the same place you're talking about?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, and do you think that's like a similar case for all the entities or beings that kind of get stuck here in this realm, the ones that can't pass over? It's like they have something to feel or some kind of karmic debt or something.
I think so. Like, I think all spirits are. Everybody is connected with energy, just like we are, and how we can relate and be brought through connections of synchronicity. I think spirits are the same way, but maybe to a different level, where they can actually share their consciousness and link together in a different way that we can't do here with our physical bodies. So yeah, absolutely. I definitely believe that stuff.
Kind of like the what's it called, the Akashic records. I believe is what it's called.
Yeah, that's cool to look into.
Yeah, I was about to post something on the page about it. Sorry, I'm not trying to promote myself, you guys. No, I love hearing
Oh
people's
no.
experiences.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
No, we're like a family here. I'm gonna promote their channel. I'm gonna promote their channel, and they're
I'll
gonna
have to say probably some of the
promote my
weirdest
channel.
experiences
Yeah.
I've ever had investigating the paranormal have all been in New Mexico.
Ooh.
Describe some of them.
Like a couple of months ago, I started picking up when I went to this place called Hope Cemetery in Hope, New Mexico, little town outside of Carlsbad, and was with a couple of my friends, and all of a sudden I started picking up on this lady, and I was like, she was famous at one time. Didn't know that I was standing next to an old famous pioneer author's grave. And I started picking up on names and I started saying them out, and the EDI was going off in unison with what I was saying. And something kept tugging my jacket, trying to get my attention. And then all of a sudden, a cop comes up and he's wondering what the hell we're doing. And he starts talking to us about the town and who's buried there, and how it came to be. And then he ended up going, "Hey, I got some other locations if you want to check them out." I'm like, "This never happens." And he takes us to the old county jail, which was abandoned. I was like, okay, one thing, a couple things could happen here. This cop's gonna really show us something, or he's gonna kill us because we're like out in the middle of nowhere. And the cop ends up having his very first paranormal experience with us at the old jail.
Wow. Well, what happened?
It hit him. Something at the jail hit him in the hat.
Wow.
He spun around faster than anybody I've ever met spin around. Like, it was crazy.
Bobby says I met a cosmic bridger in Santa Fe.
What is
I've
that?
met a lot of. I met my first ever Native American medicine man in New Mexico, in the town of Cloudcroft. That was a really cool spot.
That's when I get these, Chad. That's who basically makes them and blesses us. It has to be done by a medicine man.
Yeah.
That's what
Do you know what tribe?
Cloudcroft is a really cool place. That town's very haunted. A lot of people know in New Mexico there was one famous individual who was well known there, Billy the Kid. He ended up traveling all throughout southern New Mexico. Very famous in the town of Cloudcroft for having shootouts with with law enforcement, and that the bar that we were investigating was actually the old town's hospital, and it got very active. And not to mention, the current owner's stepson committed suicide there.
Oh wow. That's
But that was also the first time I ever came in contact with the Hat Man.
The Hat Man. Sonny, weren't we just talking about that a couple days ago? The Hat Man.
Keep hearing stories about this, and they keeps coming up.
Wow,
what's the Hat Man all about?
More
The Hat
synchronicities.
Man's like a dark entity that you'll see a silhouette of having like a brimmed hat or almost like kind of like a fedora.
Sonny, is that not exactly what I told you the other night, 2 nights ago?
That's Fedora John's shadow.
I was gonna say I know somebody that wears a fedora.
Dressed in all black, right? Kind of
I mean,
solid,
it is a solid shadow figure.
Well, that's so insane that you say that. So
because we actually caught him sitting on one of the chairs inside the bar for like 10 minutes.
Does he go by other names like Glimmer Man? Is that the same thing?
I'm not sure if he has any other names. I'm like, dude, that's Hat Man.
Fedora wearing John Hudson.
What you just described is exactly what I told Sonny 2 nights ago, and this isn't something I experienced, but a person I know, actually the first orb sighting I had this year, I had a dream the night before. In the dream, there was a girl I went to high school with, hadn't seen her in 10 years. She comes up and says something to me about a red eye or something, and it's really weird. It's a joke about smoking weed. I wake up that morning, get my phone, and at the very top of my phone, there's a song. It's called "Lazy Eye" by some band. I can't remember right now. As soon as I play the song, this orb shoots over and it flashes. Well, 3 weeks after this, the same girl that I saw in this dream calls me up. She had a near-death experience. And I mean, even if I had seen her in 10 years, how would I have known she was going to have a near-death experience? Well, I start talking to this girl, and I start opening up to her a little bit about some of this stuff. And she tells me how when she was a kid, she would frequently see this Hat Man, and she would wake up in the middle of the night, and he'd be sitting in the corner, and she would just be paralyzed from fear. She said she didn't know if it paralyzed her, or she was just so scared that she couldn't move. But she said it would just be there in the corner. And once her mom even opened up the door, and kind of like what Sonny's story with his grandpa, her mom opened the door and was sitting there talking to her, and she's sitting there like screaming at her mom, saying, "Don't you see him right there?" And she looks and she doesn't see anything, but she said she knows for a fact, like at least probably a dozen times, she saw this Hat Man, and it used to terrorize her as a kid.
Damn.
Yeah, and Sonny, I just telling you about this a couple days ago, man, and she doesn't know anything about paranormal stuff or any of this, so.
I will share with you guys this. The Boomer was asking about a dark shadow figure image that I caught at the abandoned pet cemetery. Well, it's actually not a shadow. It's actually this dogman looking creature. And it's strange. Like borderline like Wendigo skinwalker type creature. And you guys can kind of see it here. It has what looks like hair over its face. And its hair goes down here. Then you have this weird elongated nose, and then ears on top of its head and a jaw.
That looks like a face that where you're saying that the nose that looks like a hedgehog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they're so tiny. They're little.
So I'm sorry. So where the mouse is
This
at right
thing was
now?
at least my height.
That's strange
I'm
right there, man.
I'm having trouble seeing it. Can you go over to
Yeah, me
the
too. I can't
mic
see it.
again? Sorry, or explain like exactly what you're circling with the
So
mic.
you have like the nose right here, the mouth,
That's a snout.
like a snout, a jaw, and then you have hair and then ears on top of its head.
Almost like a fucking kangaroo, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Except those aren't 6 feet tall and hiding in the bushes.
Yeah.
Or here. They're not
Do you
here.
think it's a form of ectoplasm?
It's like a very weird, what do you call it? Like, it's like a very weird, like, creature. It's like, I couldn't explain it. It's weird.
Some kind of extra dimensional being or something,
I mean,
right?
I was near
There you go,
Skinwalker
boomer.
territory. Hey, there we go. Gary Woodward is my other teammate.
Skywalker.
Me and him go to a lot of the locations. Me and him have some weird connections in the paranormal. This is the guy I was telling you about that we've been to a lot of same locations in the United States, and we're like weirdly connected. Me and Gary. Gary's a good dude.
So you have crazy synchronicities with a lot of people, then it's not just me. Okay, I feel a little bit better now.
Gary said it wants to do a live in the pet cemetery. Yeah, I think if I do go again, we're definitely going live.
That would be cool.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
Danny right here told me this 4 years ago or 3 years ago when I showed him that picture originally. He said it's a blood wraith.
Huh.
Blood wraith. Wow.
Blood wraith. Spooky said I saw something different. What'd you see, Spooky? Yeah, I've seen a couple different people I've never seen before. Danny Wolf and Gary Woodward and
Gary's my
everybody.
homie. Me and him just got back from that Kansas trip.
oh, cool.
It's nice to have you guys joining us.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us this morning, guys.
Danny's a very great investigator with over 30 years in the paranormal.
Oh, wow.
Gary and I
Wow.
both have 10 years in the field.
Okay.
That's awesome,
Gary
man.
is very well connected throughout the paranormal. He's got a lot of well-known people that he's friends with, like Destination Fear, and he knows a lot of the people there.
Wait, is it Danny from Lone Wolf? Is that Danny?
Yeah, that's Seabass, CBAS.
You guys, I'll be right back. I get a drink real
Seabass,
quick.
that's funny. That was my dog's middle name. Dog's middle name was Seabass.
That's weird.
Yeah, well, it's because when I would stick him on people, I'd say, "Get his ass, Seabass." And
Yeah.
my dog would go after
Kick his ass, you bass.
him. Yep. That's
From Dumb and Dumber.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We know Danny.
Who's the guy that threw the salt?
Danny is going to be on Paranormal Chop Shop on the 14th.
I had one
Oh,
paranormal experience before my near-death experience, and that was actually not too far from where I was born, near
53.
Austin, Texas. Oh, yeah, it was 53 years in the paranormal.
Damn.
Sorry, Danny. But it was at a place called the Driscoll Hotel in Austin, Texas. Was my very first experience.
Wow. The number keeps going up, but now Boomer says Danny's actually been doing it for 55 years. That's awesome. 55 years in here? Oh, 53. Yeah, 53 years in this field. You've got a lot of stories to tell, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
He's got one of his decks of cards he uses that's, 40 years old, Danny?
Really?
How long have you had that deck?
Wow,
Big old
that's
old
awesome.
deck.
Damn.
Big deck.
Big old deck.
Danny Wolf. Yeah, he's awesome, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Danny's good people.
Wait, Danny?
Being in here, Danny.
This is the Danny I know?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think so.
Yeah.
From,
Chad, you know everybody, man.
he does readings, right?
Yeah.
We are Chad's.
Oh, I know Danny. Yeah, I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel where he does the workouts.
Yeah.
Man, I'm surprised
he's
if
gonna be on
Gary's
our channel on
still
the
here. I'm
14th.
surprised
Sweet.
Gary
Chop shop.
hasn't given me shit yet in the stream.
I think Gary was the one that was giving you shit
Yeah.
in here.
45-year-old. That deck is 45 years old.
That's awesome.
That's
That was
awesome.
that was cake. Usually it's so much worse. Like I'm surprised he didn't say channel 16, because he's a retired Marine, and I always joke about Marines eating crayons because my dad was a Marine. And so we go to this haunted location in Kansas, and Gary's like, "What is the one thing? If you're so intelligent, what is the one thing that John always makes fun of me for?" And over the Ovilus it says crayons,
No
Wow.
way.
and I'm
That's
just
crazy.
like, "No way."
That's bizarre.
That shit was funny as fuck.
Thank you for your service. He said, Danny. Was it?
Yeah, there he
Uh,
goes. John, where's your vest and your taser? I got my taser right over
Oh,
here.
I saw that on Facebook. That was a cool setup.
I love that
SWAT team.
That taser, yeah, the paranormal SWAT.
Paranormal SWAT team.
Gary is
cool.
the Marine, he said?
Yeah, Gary. My tactical vest is in the closet.
Thank you for your service, Gary.
Yes, sir.
We had some weird experiences because we asked at two of the locations we were at. What is one thing that I always say to Gary, and twice in both locations it said crayons.
That's nuts. Crayons.
And he's been making fun of me because I was getting messed with in the abandoned hospital so bad when my walkie-talkie kept going, channel 16, channel 16. And he was like, "Hey, John, you're having one of your channel 16 moments, huh?"
That's awesome.
Oh, we're always messing with each other.
Channel 16.
Hey, so
Yeah.
John, do you share this belief? I feel like I already know what you're gonna say, but I want to ask it anyways. Do you feel like whether we're talking about paranormal or UFO, alien, extraterrestrial, or extra dimensional, or angels or demons, do you feel like it's all connected in a type of way?
Oh, absolutely.
Even if
Hands
they're like
down.
somewhat separate, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I figured you were
I
going to
mean,
say.
I've
do
even
believe
gone
that.
to the realm that I think aliens are actually humans from a different time that are coming back to see how we're destroying the shit out of our planet.
I just
Like
talked to-
even they could be the lost city of Atlantis. Like even had that thought.
I spoke to somebody not too long ago, an experiencer who he's supposed to come on my channel. It says that he's been abducted, but he has dreams and he'll see grays, and he got a telepathic message that the grays were humans from a parallel reality where they got too advanced and they somehow fused their minds with the internet, with computers, and now they're like a hive mind and they lost all their emotions. And that's why they're doing the hybrid shit here to try to get their emotions back pretty much. But
Yeah.
kind of like you said, man, but said they're from an Earth, just not our Earth. And I mean, I don't know if what he's saying is right, but it's an interesting theory,
I think Spooky's agreeing with you. Boom.
Yep.
Dropping facts.
And this guy told me that like the Greys are in a bunch of different parallel realities, not just ours, and they have a hive mind. So one Grey learns something, and all the Greys know what each one learns. I mean, it's a crazy theory.
Gary says you have a
Big
weird
shit on.
connection with the elementals. Yeah, I don't
We
know
got
what
Connor
it is,
live on location, guys.
but
Dude,
I've had a lot of
Oh,
elemental experiences. A lot of elemental experiences.
I set up.
How so? Or can you explain some of that?
Just like the fact that I connected with the elemental and in Kansas and basically found out that he was a part of the mishaps with the fires going on in Kansas in the 1800s when the town burned down.
So what does elemental look like?
I didn't get what he looked like, but we had a direct line of communication.
Okay, that's cool.
And because he kept saying he kept saying he was an elemental on the Ovilus over and over again. He said, "What type of elemental are you?" And it said fire.
Wow,
So
that's cool.
an elemental does have to be like one specific element.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Somebody was trying to tell me one day that like a Sasquatch could be like a nature elemental or some shit like that. And
Oh yeah, like earth elemental, something to do with like even I've thought of Bigfoot if Bigfoot is real, and I'm still skeptical of Bigfoot. Hope I didn't upset you, Anon. But I'm very, very skeptical of Bigfoot.
I'm a lot more.
I
I'm
really
open
want to
to it.
hope
We're
he
live on
exists.
location searching for Bigfoot
We're
right
we're
now.
looking
Yeah,
for him
hey,
right now.
Yeah, they
Paranormal
can
Guy.
read.
All I can say is, bro, I definitely support you, and of course I'm kidding and being fun, but follow me, man. Follow me back,
yeah.
and you would be a lot less skeptical. I have been proving Sasquatch for the past decade, but
Hell
definitely
yeah.
the past 90 days.
Hey, I'm definitely wanting to go on like a Sasquatch hunt. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely want to go and look for Sasquatch. Even go into the dark with full infrared and fucking look for this guy.
That'd
Hey,
be cool.
I went and did the paranormal thing, like I told you. I don't do that, and I only did it that one time. I did it and told you I seen a little orb,
Mhm.
and I had to do that for myself. That way, when I see videos like what you're posting, now I have my own. I have my own view on that now, and now I know it's real because I seen, and there's another one that from that same night where we hear a big thud behind me in a room that I just came out of, and
Yeah.
those condemned barracks, and yeah, so I have a newfound respect for what you guys do, and I before I kind of understood it, but after I went out and did it, then I really understood it. So you do need to go on a Bigfoot hunt, man. That'll
Yeah,
make you respect it a little more.
Is
dig
it
into the native.
is your TikTok Bigfoot anonymous?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Cool.
Hey,
Everyone
John,
go
look
follow.
into the. I used to be super skeptical of Sasquatch too. I just recently got more open minded to it after speaking to some people like with seeing Connor here and Brian from Pork and Beans
Oh my
and some
god.
other stuff. But I looked to the Native American culture, like the actual history of Sasquatch and how far it goes back, and you got other things like the Yeti over there and was the Himalayas or whatever. But like
Gary
even in Native
just
America,
Gary just
sorry.
put up something that triggered a really weird memory. Me and him are investigating this abandoned cemetery in Wichita, Kansas, and
What
and
is that? Sorry,
this
sorry.
place has
tire.
40,000 graves.
That's a
in it.
tar,
It's a
Josh.
massive cemetery.
40,000 graves.
graves.
Jeez.
And
That's a tar from
basically,
Melissa
what
and
they
Josh.
don't tell you is they built that 40,000 graves on top of a Native American burial ground,
Really?
and they ended up digging up all those bones and discarding them into a rubbish pile.
Ooh.
And I ended up having a total skinwalker experience, dude. There was like a whole group of foxes surrounding me. I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. I've never seen this before. Usually they're not this comfortable with people. And
foxes
all of a
surround me all
sudden,
the
this
time.
one fox stands straight up in the air, dude, like a human, and starts
Wow.
walking towards me. And
Oh,
I'm
no.
like, oh, hell no.
You said you were surrounded by foxes. Is that what
Yeah.
you said? That's like bizarre on its own, man. 'Cause foxes are very, very isolated and shy, and
I don't know,
yeah,
Josh. I'm
like-
surrounded by foxes all the time, man.
And that was also the
they're
same night.
normally supposed to be. I don't know.
That
Sorry,
was
go ahead.
also the same night I almost fell into an empty grave
Oh
Wow.
no,
because
No, I
people
wouldn't
had
like
been
that.
grave
Nope.
digging. People had stolen bodies out of the ground, and they just put a piece of plywood there, and I was running full infrared, so I
There's-
couldn't see.
Mm.
They take the bodies. They're not
Yeah,
just
they
grave
took,
robbers.
they,
desecrated
they took
bodies.
the caskets and the bodies out.
Oh, that's horrible, man. That's
Yeah, that's a way to get a curse.
disgraceful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Sonny, real
Yeah.
quick, I had a question for you. I was just thinking, the arrowhead that you found. Do you think
Yep.
that could have been like a gift from the Sasquatch? Because I learned about the
Man,
gifting thing
okay,
that they do, man.
The weird
I
thing
thought
about
about
that, Josh, is when I found it, it was a very big pine tree that it fell over, and the roots.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's
The roots were out of the ground. That thing was laying there, and when I picked it up, the shiny side was up, okay. But when I picked it up, the other side was so dirty, it just looked like a dirty old rock. So I told somebody one time, I go, it looked like somebody picked that thing up and licked it clean, and then set it back down on there, and then. I think Brian is the one that told me it was Bigfoot. Bigfoot licked that thing clean and put it back on there so you can see it.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't hear him say that. That's funny, man. I mean, yeah, it's bizarre. And you said that arrowhead was like exactly where you looked, right? Like whenever you looked, you pinpointed it.
Yeah, I like I said, we were walking and there was like 5 of us. I was the last one. So these guys all walked by it and didn't see it. And when I walked by it, I looked down and it was just shining right there. And
I thought about it. I mean,
one of the things that's in my pouch. That's what's
inside
here.
I thought about that because arrowhead is Native American and Sasquatches are tied to Native American culture. So I don't know. I just thought earlier maybe that was a gift, from. I'm being more open minded to the Sasquatch thing. Yeah, it's
when I got it, it looks like somebody just made that thing, and it's got to be old.
Sorry, some of those glyphs that Brian had, the pictures, they're mind blowing, and he's got like hundreds, over 1,000 of them, really.
Damn.
And John, I feel like, sorry, John, I was gonna say no offense, man. Yeah.
I was gonna tell you that thing has been in this medicine pouch for a long time, and there's another rock in there with it. And when I took it out on the show, I was showing Chad, I was spinning it in my fingers and it cut into the tip of my finger. That thing's still like razor blade sharp.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember
they're amazing, dude. They don't go dull. They're pretty neat.
That's incredible, man.
Hey,
John,
Gary,
have you ever thought about Sasquatch being like a spiritual entity type thing?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, if you believe in skinwalkers, I don't think it should be too much of a stretch to believe in.
No, I definitely
Sasquatch.
believe in cryptids. I always have an open mind to maybe Bigfoot exists as well. But what if he's not what people really think he is? What if he's more of the spiritual being and not a physical?
That's what I believe. Yeah, I think a lot more people are starting to lean towards that now too. Like Brian from Pork and Beans, he saw Sasquatch, said go into the woods, and he took pictures, and it's like back-to-back pictures, and it's like 3 pictures with nothing, and then 1 picture of a shitload of orbs. And there's some theory that the Sasquatch can turn into orbs. And like this stuff, before I thought it would have been bullshit, but I've seen these orbs and stuff, and to me it's a lot more plausible that Sasquatch would be.
What if Bigfoot's the spirit of a primitive man?
I don't know. I don't want to get into this because I'll talk about it a lot. But Chris Bledsoe, you really got to get into, John. I think you'd love Chris Bledsoe's story. He had a dream that he said felt like an astral projection that involved Sasquatch and something about them going extinct or something, being wiped out, and now like to rehabilitate their soul or something, they're a nature guardian that walks in between dimensions or some shit like that.
How strange is it to see palm trees in the forest to you, Chad? In the mountains, in the.
That's pretty bizarre.
Yeah, he's walking through the woods. Basically, I keep seeing.
That must be Florida.
It's such a strange. Yeah, there's no
You're gonna get bit by a gator down there, Lewis.
One of them big ass pythons. Watch out
this water, the DePolo River, is known for giant gators. It leads right into the dead lakes, and there have been 16 footers. Plus, a movie was filmed right in these waters called Cobra Gator. So that's kind of like a fictional fantasy twist on it. But as you guys know, I'm less than 10 minutes from Torreya State Park, where Stacy Brown filmed the skunk ape that was all over Discovery Channel, Finding Bigfoot, and then also right near the Ocheesee Pond, where one was captured in the 1800s, sent to the Capitol, and then the Capitol said, oh no, and then sent to Chattahoochee Hospital, home of the criminally insane. Held it there for 3 years, experimented on it, and then sadly it passed away, and they have it buried there. So there are tons of these stories out there that they've been captured, killed, even birthed and trained for the U.S. Army and other military branches. So yes, you just have to dive into it because they are physical beings in this realm. My team and many other teams that I've been in contact with has recovered hair, footprints, loud whoops, and even them on photographs. In Mayaca, where they got the famous skunk ape photographs, we recorded them knocking on trees and samurai chattering. Plus, we found orange hair that is clear under a microscope. So, of course, it's not going to be, confirmed anytime soon by academia or the establishment, because we see what they're doing right now if we turn on the news. They have their own agenda. This doesn't fit into their agenda. Every church every tribe, every continent has stories of these giants, of these titans. Is it the Nephilim? Is it the descendants of Cain? Is it the Vananara people, half forest, half ape? I really don't know, but there are so many different takes on it. And yes, maybe some of them are, recreations or repercussions from fallen Native Americans or primitive man or cavemen, but they are physical beings, but they are the most supernatural beings in this realm too. So they would be in touch with that, just like human beings
I was
are.
about to say that, Chris, because I was like, man, they better cue the X-Files music. We better grab our tinfoil hats right now because they're about to shut us down.
Yeah. So Connor, do you believe they can be physical and more entity, non-physical at the same time?
Definitely.
Looks like a giant
I think it's explained by science because we are particle form mostly, and that is solid. But in our true moments of being, we can become waveform, and that's mostly when we die. But these elementals and gremlins in the forest and giants and the ancient ones, I think they can manipulate the vibes a little easier. But I actually put some cannabis right here, and some of it is missing. And the satumas, the oranges that I left, are missing too. So that is pretty interesting that something definitely dug into it. It honestly looks like just the stems are left. So it got the good and got out. But very interesting. And yeah,
can I get the coordinates to that?
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually very close to Look and Tremble Rapids, right in the woods across from them. This place is really known for the white water in Florida, which is very rare. It's like class 2 on its best day. But more coolly is there's a headless ghost who is known for looking for what he lost.
I think that stuff was going to come in the mail. So I played this stupid slots game that's on there, and you get the prizes for real if you win them. And they sent me this shit.
They actually sent it to you?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Mostly I won 10 of these items, so it's gonna be trickle charging into my mail.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
So, I got a Pokemon keychain.
So Connors, I'll make sure I got this right. So you believe that a Sasquatch is a physical being that has supernatural abilities? That's what you're saying, pretty much?
Definitely. Okay. And just like us as human beings, we have spirit guides and maybe things that can take different forms. I think they have that to the next level. So they can either take the eyes of the animals all around them or maybe even turn into it completely. But there's different levels to it, just like jiu-jitsu. You have to train, you have to learn. It takes lifetimes, it takes decades, it takes generations of instinct and knowledge and hard practice. And being out here is pretty much the only way to close that gap between the bridge. And they are the closest thing to our creator in this realm that we actually have a physical chance at finding. And I have envelopes full of, the creator, and it's very cool. And again, not to plug, but I'm speaking at the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference January 22nd this month, and that's going to be huge. And I'm going to have my own table with my cast, my hair, pictures of it under a microscope. So I'm all about, closing the gap. I'm not all secretive and like this, hiding behind a smoke screen like a lot of people in TV programs. But of course, you have to draw it in from all different angles. And it starts out here. And I'm just an Ohio boy that lived out in my car that really manifested this. I wanted to be, researching in the dead of winter, but right alongside the river, feeling good. Man. But of course, I have many times that it gets challenging out here. And I make sure to tell people where I'm at. And, pack extra water. But sometimes you're just so in the moment that it takes you over. And I know all of us can speak to that for not even loss of time, but kind of just loss of mind. Sonny talked about when he had that man in front of his house and then the wolf, and then he never even thought about the man again. And then we all just keep going on with the program that is, conditioned since birth. So we are all stuck in the maze and we have to break free. And that's what I'm all about, and that's really what it starts with. And I don't care if it's my books, if my lives, my podcasts, my movies, me ranting on the side of the road, harassing people at the gas station about Sasquatch and the Mothman. I'm going to do it. And of course, people are going to look at me sideways, 30% of the time, but it's about that 70 that really gets inspired.
That's right.
Not the Mothman, not the Mothman. Oh, hey, Connor. Real quick, I know a couple days ago you asked for me to finish telling the Anunnaki story on Paranormal Chop Shop. I never got back to it, but I'll definitely share that with you sometime, man.
Heck yeah, man. I can't wait to be on your show, and your channel's about to take off.
Yeah,
Just, show your face as many places as you can and tell your truth, because you are an interesting dude with an awesome perspective. You have shed the layers that, society binds you with. So you have clarity. You can actually see straight. And I love hearing from people that have took their time to spar from the system.
I appreciate it, man. I love hearing other people's experiences, man. We're all a puzzle piece, Appreciate it, Connor.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, thanks,
bro.
Connor. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Oh, that was an awesome bird. Yeah, but you guys continue with your conversation. You guys could just watch my views,
All I see
Absolutely.
is butt stuff come up on the thing. I'm like,
Yeah, Jamie and Bree want me to come on the Butt Stuff show.
Oh, awesome.
I'll
I
be
can't
there
do
tomorrow.
that right now because my
Oh,
phone's
okay.
backwards, but tell everybody I said what's up. They could hear me, I know, but
Yeah, they can hear you.
Bree, she's awesome. I definitely want to appear on her show, like, officially. I was checking out an abandoned house the other day on her show, and I stepped on a freaking nail, and I was honestly, I was nervous that all this might have been over, because I'm not getting no tetanus shot, so we got to figure out a natural remedy. But it barely broke the skin, and I threw a bunch of alcohol on it, drank a little bit more, and we'll be all right.
Getting
Make sure you carry protection.
believe it or not, I actually ended up getting staph infection off of a rusted nail that went through the bottom of my boot once while exploring. I didn't know, like, the abandoned house, to get there you have to walk through streets, and there was actually a broken sewer line, and the nail was there, and when I stepped on it, that sewer water got into the nail went into me.
Ew.
I ended up getting violently sick. They even talked about, like, I overheard the doctors, like, if this gets worse in the next 24 hours, we're going to have to amputate. I'm like, fuck no.
Wow.
Don't be cutting my foot off, man.
Hey, John, didn't you said you had cryptid experience, right?
Oh, well, I don't go looking for them. They just kind of happen when I ghost hunt. Same with UFOs.
Which kind of cryptids have you seen? Well, I know you mentioned Skinwalker.
Well, like Skinwalker. Skinwalker's about the weirdest cryptid I've come across. I don't really think I've gone looking for anything else. Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah, John, I forgot to tell you that we normally go 3 hours, and we just did 3 hours. So
Oh, nice.
congratulations. You
Oh,
went,
yeah, man. That
you
was
went
a
the
lot
length.
fast.
I was just needing to go grab a Mountain Dew or what I call redneck coffee.
Redneck coffee. There's people that start their day with Mountain Dew.
Oh yeah,
Gotta do the do.
that would be me.
Well, yeah, man, we can. We normally shut her down at 3 hours, so I was gonna just make sure that people saw that your channel was on YouTube and on TikTok.
Definitely, yeah, guys. Make sure to check out Jon the Paranormal Guy on YouTube and TikTok. I'll soon be redoing my Facebook, so I'll have new content coming out there.
Okay.
But we're actually like filming a season right now, so it's gonna be a while before I get content back on my YouTube channel. But I'm gonna be working on some stuff here in the next couple days and just have something out there. Maybe even a short. I was gonna post I think I was gonna try to drop the Hatchet Murder House investigation in Kansas, and that place was pretty wild. We got a absolute crap ton of paranormal stuff happened in that house.
Oh, sweet.
So
yeah, we look forward to watching some more of your stuff that you put up, man.
Including a new shadow figure that's even crazier than the one I caught in the cemetery.
That shadow figure video was pretty wild, man.
Shadow people are
out.
cool. Cool thing to look
Yeah,
into.
John, I hope to have you on my channel here coming up soon, and Connor, you too, man. Like I'd love to have Connor.
Feel free to
on there too.
reach out to me anytime, guys. I'd be more than happy to join. Maybe I'll have you guys on my channel here soon. We can cross promote and help each other out.
That'll work, man. Absolutely.
yeah.
So we do it like a family. Yeah, I'll have Chad or Sonny or both of them on there with me, or just I'll kick them to the curb and get spooky and
Heck yeah.
and
Yeah, there you
and I'll
go.
work with you.
There you go.
No, Chad and
Maybe
Sonny's more than likely gonna get there.
Bigfoot and I can go out and I'll come down to Florida or something. We'll go Bigfoot hunting live on TikTok or something.
There you go, dude. That'd be
That'd be pretty
awesome.
wild.
Dude, that
Yeah,
sounds like
John,
a plan.
whenever you come, sorry, John, whenever you come to Wilmington, man, make sure you hit me up.
I
We can
will
go,
definitely make sure to hit you guys up. Yeah, I'm gonna be meeting some friends of mine
sorry,
down there, and yeah, Wilmington's a trip. That's all I can say about Wilmington.
Oh yeah.
Well, cool, guys.
Eventually, I'm gonna get Chad and Sonny and everybody else down there. We're gonna go visit Blitzos together.
Hell yeah.
Well, cool, guys. I'm going to shut YouTube down, but thanks, everyone, for hanging out with us today. We'll see you on Paranormal Chop Shop tomorrow on Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have...
If you guys check out my Linktree account, all of my social media is on my Linktree.
Oh, that works. Yeah, that's a lot easier to do it that way. Oracle's put it in the chat. That's a lot easier.
Yep.
So cool, yeah.
Chad,
Check out John's Linktree. Huh?
I'm sorry, I was gonna say, do you mind if I promote myself real quick?
No, not at all, dude. Go ahead.
Okay, I just found out earlier during this podcast, I got an awesome guest, and she might be on today or tomorrow, actually. So, looking forward to that, man.
Today or tomorrow.
I know you got to get some sleep and everything, but I might just do interview solo with her, or I don't know.
You can have Sonny.
I'm excited.
You can
to be
have
honest.
Sonny if you want.
Yeah. I'm not Sonny.
All right, cool. We'll see you guys.
On there, man.
Okay, guys,
Yeah.
thanks for tuning in once again. And you guys can hang out here if you want. We're just going to end it on the live side. But
Hell
thank
yeah.
you guys in chat. Thank
I'm
you guys
gonna
for
be
everything.
right
Thank
back.
you
I'm
again,
just
Melissa.
gonna go
You're
grab
awesome.
a
Thank
Mountain
you, Cass.
All right, no problem, John. Yeah, thanks, Cassie, for hooking us up again with our guest today. And check out the merch store if you haven't at chadsmithpodcast.com. And I guess that's about it.
We're going to have Brazzle play us out.
Chad Smith.
Yep.
Brazzle rocks.
We'll see you guys.
Okay.